Here we go, people. Episode 1 of Chat Shit, Get Baked. Might only be one episode because it might be terrible or it might be really good. It might end up being a big long series. Who knows? So to start off, I just want to address this. Try and make it like a big. I'm just sitting on my settee in my living room. You know, most people who do this have like a big fancy fucking backdrop, LED lights and that. I'm just getting going. So I was trying to put these belts right in a nice. See, now the camera's rolling. That looks alright, but it's when I start running the other ones into play. Do you know what I mean? So excuse all that. So basically, this is episode 1 of Chat Shit Get Baked, and that's exactly what the premise is. Chat shit and get baked. Episode 1, I thought, let's get you lot, my lovely followers, who I wanted to remain anonymous because obviously I thought that would draw all the questions out, do you know what I mean? And there is some good ones, do you know what I mean? Like, because like, if I knew who was asking what, certain things might not come up, but everyone's anonymous, do you know what I mean? I don't have a clue who was sent these questions in. So, yeah, there's some good ones. Obviously, I got sent in a lot of questions and I can't answer them all in one video because it'll be incredibly long. Plus then, it gives us an episode 2. Do you know what I mean? So I've picked out, I think there's about 8 questions that I'm going to go through. There may be graphics popping up in between here and here and here, depending on what I'm talking about relating to the subject, but maybe there won't be because I'm learning on the fly and I'm figuring all this shit out, but I'm trying to make YouTube money. So like, subscribe, share the video, do you know what I mean? Helps me out. Okay, I've got a laptop here with the questions on, getting fancy, do you know what I mean? So if I keep looking over here, it's just for me looking at the laptop. I haven't got a Twitch, there's nobody here. It's, well, Alan's asleep, but it's 1:30 in the morning, and there's no better time to chat shit and get baked than 1:30 in the morning. So, question 1, and I thought it was a great place to start, is who was your favourite deathmatch wrestler to work? And straight away, for me, without a shadow of a doubt, the answer to that question is Bay Rose. I believe me and Bay Rose have had 3 singles matches at the point of this recording. I mean, I'm putting it out tomorrow, so I mean, it's definitely going to be 3, but it's coming out in 3 months now. So we had 3 singles matches. So the first one was deathmatch. I believe that might have been his first deathmatch. Correct us if I'm wrong, but I believe it was, and I think that was at the first Games of Death in Aga Studios for Rise. And fuck me, I loved it. It was just a fucking hard hitting. That's why I like every match like would be this, like my style and his style. Like they seem to mesh well. We give as good as we get. Do you know what I mean? We'll put it in, and I just think every time we're in there, like we'll make it work. We'll make magic. So obviously that death match was the first one, and then I believe I got a bit mixed up because they're getting baked. But we've had a second death match, and that was I get so mixed up with it, like the Games of Death 2, Games of Death 3. I know there'll definitely be some cunt in the comments going, meh, meh, meh. Actually, this is this. But so, yeah, you know what? Please do correct me if I'm wrong and tell us. I think it was the second Games of Death. Because I had the belt. This belt that I still have. I think it was my first title defence. I think I defended on Bleeding Gums first. I think it was my first defence of that belt in Rise. But anyway, yeah, again, we're just fucking, I think we topped the first one massively. Again, styles make fights, and we did some crazy shit in that one and really upped it. I got the gnarliest scar on my leg. We did a spot in the first match, the first death match we did, where the light tube gate in the corner in BA, there was a beautiful cannonball through, boom. It's the first time we did it, it was sick. Second time we did it, it was sick as well. But, you know, we play with glass and you're going to get cut, you know what I mean? And just this one, boom, the gate smashes. And obviously it must have just been like a little nick, and like it's zipped open my leg, and it's like the biggest chunkiest scar, but I like it, you know what I mean? Chick stick scars. Yeah, I remember seeing it, and that is the only time in a match that I've ever asked the referee for tape. So obviously I was in the corner selling, and I knew BA, the next spot was the nail board, and he was setting it up. So I was like, ref, I seen it was like naughty cut, you know what I mean? It was like pretty bad, it was bad, you know what I mean? It was deep, like fucking, and I knew there wasn't a long left in the match, and I'm like, I'm a pussy, I'm no pussy, do you know? I nearly said I am a pussy. I'm a pussy when it comes to heights, but not the battering my body, and I wouldn't, I'd have to have broken legs, or you'd have to like be bleeding out, or I'd have to be dead to like call the match. So I was like, ref, any tape. And I think it was Scott Bell was reffing, great ref. Gives the tape, and I started just bleeding so much the tape's not even working. And I see BA like setting up the next spot for the nail board, and obviously like I can't be like pissing around fucking for ages, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck it, and I just like get rid of the fucking the tape that's not even working. We'll go in the next spot and finish the match. All's good. And then I remember fucking so hyped up after, and then I go to the camera, I'm like, look at, I don't even know what I'm saying, it's a load of shit, and I'm like, look at this, so obviously I'm not bothered about me own blood and getting cut, do you know what I mean? Not a funny story, backstage after that, obviously I needed my legs seen new, and the wonderful Gabby, shout out to Gabby, was like, oh, I'll have a look at your leg, and she glued my leg shut. And then Tony Knox, shout out to Tony Knox, best photographer in the game, comes over and he's like, oh, can you just like hold that? Like literally I'm getting my foot, this big cut gaping on my leg, fucking getting it glued, and Tony Knox is trying to like fucking direct a photo shoot, and he's like, oh, I don't think Gabby will mind us saying this, but he's going like, oh, Gabby, get your tits in and that, and I'm like, fucking, I've got a fucking hole in my leg. And you know what, we still haven't seen those photos. Tony Knox, where are those photos? Because I know for a fact they'll be great. And then the third encounter would be that I've had, now again, I don't know if it went deathmatch, then this one, then another one, or if it was deathmatch, this one, but it was on, actually no, I think this might have been in between. We had one, I think it might have been coming out of lockdown, because it was the True Grit, like when they were doing the tapings for YouTube, and we had a match on there, and it was no gimmicks, it was like a straight up match. And again, fuck me, like I think that was probably that match we did, the straight up singles match. That's on YouTube. I'll try and grab it and link some. I'll try and link these matches and stuff, or I might like make best of Lou and Bay Rose or something, like highlight or something. But yeah, I think that one was actually my favourite. The match without gimmicks we did. I just remember being hard hitting and took a big bump out the ring off his back, off the back, like off the choke and that. But yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, Bay Rose is my favourite person to work, and I really hope that we'll get there, do it again soon, because I feel like it's been a while since the last time we worked. It's maybe been, well, I get really, it all gets mixed up in here, you know, so I feel like it was it because I kicked him in the balls at the Rise Rumble, which is always January. Was it Games of Death? I don't know, was it 2 years ago? I don't know. I'm going to check Cage Match, and hopefully I can edit all, it's going to be like asterisks and like me correcting myself for being an idiot. But like everything I'm talking about's right, but it's just the dates that I get mixed up with. But yeah, I've got a couple of other honourable mentions. Eric Dillinger, I've wrestled him twice, once in XPW and once more recently, April this year. Now that's dates right. That was over Mania week for Ruthless. But I remember I met Eric the show before I wrestled him. I remember watching him wrestle, and like I just like I like when I see people wrestle, I just like certain people I know, like Styles, you know, it's the classic Styles make fights, and I'm like, I think we'd make some magic, do you know what I mean? And I think it was as he was leaving, I went up to him, like I don't even think I think I'd seen him because maybe he was on early, and then I was on not long after. I wasn't like properly introduced, like, you know, like I'll come to that later on in the question, but anyway. They hadn't shook hands and introduced each other. But anyway, on the way out, I was like, hey, how's it going? Good match, bro. He said the same. We give each other a hug, and he's like, that's Rob. Rob Black, shout out. What the fuck is Rob Black doing now? I wonder. I mean, that's a whole episode, that. Fuck. Anyway, he's like, I've asked Rob to match up. And I went, mate, you know what? I was thinking the same in my head. And then, anyway, the match got made for like next month's show, whenever it was. So obviously, if you like, I wanted a good match with Eric, and obviously in the build up you think of things, you get ideas and you watch things, and in my head I had like it was gonna be the match, like style wise it's gonna be like Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, do you know what I mean, kind of match. And I seen him, and I said this, and like I started bouncing some ideas, and he was like, as soon as I said like Samoa Joe, CM Punk, he was like, wow, bro. He was like, yo, daddy, I was thinking the same thing. Do you know what I mean? And like we just clicked and like bouncing ideas off each other, and like the ideas we had were like the same or so similar, but like not the same, exactly the same, like same to the point where we could mix it together and make it a bigger same. Do you know what I mean? And again, like April just gone when we worked, Judge Joe Dredd, I'm going to quote what he said. And again, in that dive bar, there was a lot of good matches. He said, me and Eric were the best match to happen in that dive bar that week. And yeah, again, it was just more the same, more bouncing off each other, great chemistry, great ideas meshing, just great, like similar mindsets, and like again, like I pride myself in being able to work with anyone and have like a decent match with anyone, but like obviously you're not going to have that chemistry with everyone, and you're not going to have that bum magic with everyone, and sometimes like you just gotta like do things, make things work, and like get through whatever, or like make it possible, do you know what I mean? But like when you talk to someone and you're putting a match together, and you just know, like the bum when you're bound, and you're just like yeah. So again, me and Eric have had 2 singles matches, and I really hope it's not the last. I don't think it will be the last. Again, plenty more in the tank for us. So on to question 2, and another reason, obviously I love Tim Strange, you know what I mean, big brother Tim. But another reason why I didn't mention him there, because I'm going to have to talk about my load now, because the next question is about him. And I feel like, I don't know actually, because I feel like people could have sent in multiple questions, do you know what I mean? But I feel like this is him. But again, I don't know, because it's anonymous. It's all anonymous. But I've tried, obviously I'm going to be like, who sent this in? So the question is, who would win in a shoot fight? You or Tim Strange? Now, the answer is me, but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's me, who would knock you out, blah blah blah. No, it is me. It's me. I would win, and that's because of skill, fight IQ, and time in the game. Do you know what I mean? I've been fighting for as long as I can remember, so I've been in the ring with a variety of people, all different shapes and sizes. Now I look at Tim, big Tim, 6'6", 7", monster, giant of a man, powerful. So that tells me he hits hard and he's strong. So I don't want to get near him because I don't want to get grabbed a hold of. I don't want him to land a punch. Okay. So another thing I noticed, he's slow. I've ate a steak with that man and walked over a bridge with him after, and I fucking got to the end of the bridge, turned round, and I think he was like a quarter of the way through. So that tells me he is slow. I have the speed advantage. So, plan on the outside, game plan for fighting Tim. Obviously, I don't mind revealing this because it's never going to happen. So, I know Tim isn't going to go away and work with a striking coach to counter all this. Watch, like, next match we'll have, he just fucking, we'll call it out there, but and he does the opposite. Everything I say fucks us up in 10 seconds. One hit gets split. But yeah, so anyway, back to fight IQ. So what I do, I'd stay on the outside. I'd be moving, keeping away from him, peppering out the jab, not necessarily a hit to keep the range. Boom, leg kicks, boom, leg kicks, boom. We all know the history with the legs, boom. And again, I don't want to get heavy on my feet when I'm planting these initial leg kicks. We're talking, you know what, this will be a championship fight. It's going to be a 5-round championship fight, you know what I mean? So I've got a bit of time, and I think I've got the cardio advantage. Again, I've seen this guy walk over bridges after steak meals, do you know what I mean? He ain't got 5 in the tank. So I'm moving, leg kicks. Maybe they're hurting him. He's got big tree trunks, maybe they're not effective. But I don't know if he knows about checking the leg kick, do you know what I mean? Checking the leg kick. I don't know if he's got it in him. But if he does, I'll go low to the calf. Boom, go low to the calf. And then, once I start saying slow down, I start faking low. Boom, bring it up with the body. Fake low, bring it up high. Boom, boom. And that's when he's going to be like, oh, he's thinking about what I'm doing. Bell goes, boom, back to the corners. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, again, round 2, more the same. Again, I'm keeping my distance. At no point in this fight I want to get near him. I don't want to get in clinch range, and I don't want to be in uppercut range. I don't want to be in holding range. I want to be in my leg kick range and one step out of my jab hitting. Yeah, for 2-3 rounds. And now, I think first 2 rounds, yeah, but the third round, I really think those leg kicks are going to start playing effect. And when he starts to slow down and he's tiring, and also he's now worrying about the leg coming high for the head, so he's not blocking these leg kicks. And then that's when I start, boom, driving them in like an axe, chopping down a fucking tree. Boom, boom, boom. And he will fall. Boom, 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 boom. I'll look at the ref and go, come on, ref. I'll get up. You'll try and get up. You fall down. No, you know what? I'm going to give him his due. You'll get up. And I'll give him another leg kick. You fall down. I'll go, ref, come on. Because it's Tim. I'm not going to jump in with a nasty ground and pound. It's unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? And then the ref's going to go. And that's why I would beat Tim Strange in a shoot fight. Tim Strange, make a reply if you think I'm wrong. What would you do? I'm in the prime of my life. The CDs are Jamaican. Question 3. When are you making your local wrestling debut in Texas? All I can say to that is ask local management. I like to be honest. I like to tell the truth. I don't want to be, teasing, be like, oh, something's fight news soon. Do you know that? I don't know. I believe I've had a couple of conversations with him in the past. Nothing's ever happened. Nothing's ever came to light. I've never been in Texas. I would love to wrestle in Texas. I would love to wrestle for Logo. Seem to be doing great things. But for us, to when am I making my debut there? That is a question for local management. But if you fucking want some, I'll bring, not that because it's a tag belt, I'll bring this. And I'll bring this. And I'll fuck yous all up. Okay, question 4. Now this is a really good question. I don't know who sent this in, but I thought this is the one I thought about for the a lot. I really thought about this one, because the question is, what would your card be for the UK blood sport fantasy booker? Now, I wanted to be realistic, and I wanted it to look like what. Okay, I don't have a clue what it's going to look like, but and again, before I fucking put this out there, actually, because I have no idea who is on Bloodsport London other than myself. I've got no idea who I'm working, and I've got no idea if any of these people are going to be there. This is just my card if I was booking it, okay? So I want no fucking Lou said this, Lou said this. I haven't. It's fantasy booking, alright? Anyway, so yeah, as I said, I have no idea. If I do not know a single person who's going to be there other than me, and I assume Josh Barnett, because the show's Josh Barnett's fucking Bloodsport. But I don't have a clue who I'm working or if any of these people are going to be on the show. But this is what I would book. Now we're past that. Again, it's in London, Electric Ballroom. So I'm not just gonna. This me personally, I wouldn't just be I'm not just gonna pull fucking crazy names. Do you know what I mean? It's in London. You want that flavour of Bloodsport. You want that real shoot fucking style, and you want that UK element. And yeah, so this is what the card would be. Okay, main event: Big Lou Nixon versus Josh Barnett. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Writes itself. Yeah, it's mad actually for it to be working for Josh Barnett in Bloodsport, because before I even wrestled, people may know, my background was MMA, boxing, kickboxing since I was a kid. As long as I've been walking, I feel like I've been in the gym. My dad put us in the gym, and I always remember watching the UFC and the fights, the boxing, the UFC and the MMA with my dad. And Josh Barnett was on that screen defending the fucking UFC heavyweight championship. Do you know what I mean? Fighting, fucking putting guys out in front of me when I was a kid on the telly, and I'm looking up to him wow, because when I was younger I just trained MMA and that was my only interest. I want to get to the UFC, but I've always been a fan of wrestling. And then anyway, but you know what I mean, this is what I do, that's what I did then, and looking up to him then, and obviously I went down the wrestling route, but I used that training in the MMA massively in my wrestling. But working with these guys now, and Josh Barnett, and again Shayna Baszler, I watched Shayna Baszler in the Ultimate Fighter series where Ronda Rousey was the coach. This was when they just brought the women's division in the UFC, and this was to crown the champions, and Shayna Baszler was on that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and I've worked on a show where, do you know what I mean? And I might have never got to the UFC, I might have never fought in the UFC, but fucking hell, it's pretty fucking close. Do you know what I mean? Crazy, but yeah, that, and that for me, when I was when I first started wrestling, being asked people who I was working for in my first year, what was my goals? Blood sport has always been my goal, and I'm not saying I've achieved my goal, because being a regular every show, do you know what I mean, up there, main eventing, fucking stable fights every show, that's my goal. Household name for Bloodsport, do you know what I mean? But I've got the footing, do you know what I mean? And it's crazy, that picture, I've got it framed in my room because it's the fucking craziest picture I think I've ever been a part of, and it's the where they do the lineups at the start, and it's like me. It looks like I'm fucking eyeing up Suzuki. Can I take him? Yes, I fucking can. But it's like Josh Barnett, Shayna, Suzuki, me, Timothy Thatcher, fucking Dolph Ziggler's behind us, Charlie Dempsey, and me in me fucking tune pants and me choke dealer shirt, sizing up Suzuki, and it's like, I did it, Adrian, I did it. But yeah, anyway, on to the rest of the card. Co-main event is going to be my boy Brett Semtex. Got to be. Other than myself, to be fair, I think he's more qualified than me, experience-wise, fight-wise, level-wise, in terms of boxing, MMA and stuff, kickboxing. He's had a lot more fights than me. And I know he was on term to become like a professional pro before he started wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, he had that option. So, other than myself, like, there's no one more legit on the scene in the UK, and like, I don't feel like for us too. It's not just the UK. It's like in the world on the independent wrestling scene, like actual hard competition in the fucking ring, and the training and back it. You know what I mean? Like, that is legit. That is what being legit is. Legit, and then using that in wrestling. So, yeah, Brett's there, and obviously, I'm booking it. I'm gonna give my boy Brett a big marquee match. So it's going to be Brett Semtex versus Pete Dunne in the co-main event, and Brett is going to show those WWE boys how British Top Team fucking does it. No, but in all seriousness, again, Pete Dunne's British. Obviously, Bloodsport have this WWE link, which I feel is a lot more to do with UFC and WWE being under the same banner, and Josh Barnett's linked to the UFC. I feel like that is more, but anyway, I don't know. I could be fucking wrong. I don't have a clue, but it's cool how he gets them. Anyway, it's good for us, the eyes on the show. Obviously, I think it's the only show that like you have these regular WWE guys popping up. Do you know what I mean? And I think Pete Dunne was a good fit. I watched his match with Gresham, but even like before that, like, he's got that style. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he's like legitimately trained, but do you know what I mean? When you watch him in the ring, he looks like you fucking have a go. Do you know what I mean? So let's see if you'll have a go with fucking Brett. There we go. Next up, right, I don't think you mind us saying this. I know for a fact Screwface Ahmed would come out of retirement to do a Bloodsport, and if I was booking it, I'd get him on, because he's fucking class. He's like him and Rampage Brown, Screwface, Jamie Ahmed, Screwface, and Rampage are my coaches, and like, from day dot, like, obviously, Jamie Screwface is seen as, and like, he has a massive interest in MMA, boxing. He's a big fan. He's actually had a boxing fight himself, which he won. He obviously has that amazing wrestling mindset, and he helped me loads to apply like MMA fighting style to wrestling and make it work. Do you know what I mean? So I think, like, with his brain, his mind, like, unbelievable, like, unbelievable. I would love like a match with him again now, like just because I wrestled him in North in my early days, and like, I had so much fun in there. But I think like now, like, fucking hell, just how about Jamie, one more. But anyway, I know he would come out of retirement to do a Bloodsport, so we're gonna have Screwface versus Gabe Kidd. Again, Gabe Kidd, British guy, hard hitting style, very qualified for Bloodsport. I believe I'm almost certainly he's got to have done some BitChute training while he's been over in America and Japan. Might be wrong, but bit jiu-jitsu and that. But anyway, he fucking not only held his own with a big man, Josh Barnett, he beat him, didn't he? So And I think whether it was in whether it's in, I don't even know if this has happened this match, but like whether it's happened in a ring before, but Screwface with his kid, fucking hell, good match. We're only 3 in as well. Jesus, this guy. And you know what? This is like a realistic fucking card. Like, obviously, as you'll see going on, you've got your. I think like this could totally happen. There's no like, it's not like, oh fucking hell, I'm not like pulling crazy names in. But anyway, on to the next. I feel like you can't have Bloodsport without Masha Slamovich, and I feel like she would definitely be. I hope, and I feel she should definitely be coming over. I think she's when you Bloodsport, you expect the Josh Barnett match, you expect your Masha Slamovich match. Do you know what I mean? So it would be wrong not to include her in Bloodsport UK, whether that's me booking it or whether that's this one coming up. Again, I don't know, but I think she should be on it. And the person that I think she should wrestle is Millie McKenzie. Again, Millie, very fucking hard-hitting, aggressive, legitimate style in the ring. Do you know what I mean? The work in the ring speaks for itself, and fucking hell, again, not even just in Bloodsport, in a normal ring match, like, but Millie McKenzie versus Masha Slamovich, fucking hell, I think that would be that's a crazy show stealing match on any card. So that would be my women's match. So on to the rest. The next one is 1, 2, 3, 4. Match 5. Again, I wanted to keep it somewhat realistic, but obviously Bloodsport has the pull, and I can get certain guys. And well, this guy has been on Bloodsport before, and he's a popular guy in the UK, wrestled a lot in the UK scene, and that is Speedball Mike Bailey. And the person I'm matching Speedball Mike Bailey up is my boy Henry Faust. He deserves to be on Bloodsport. He's got a hard-hitting style. He studies the game. I know for a fact, like if that match was announced, like the work that he'd be putting in, like the research to this, like the ideas he'd come up with. Do you know what I mean? He's like very knowledgeable. I'd love a match with him, to be honest. Again, whether it would be no ropes or straight up, and I think Henry's great, and I think like he would deserve like that that not only that he deserves not only to be on that platform. Fucking hell, I'm baked. He deserves not only to be on that platform, but to also have a marquee match on that platform to really show what he can do. So yeah, that would be Mike Bailey versus Henry Faust. Do you know what? We're going to go straight on, because again, this is a very similar type of matchmaking. We've got like a Bloodsport veteran, and also a guy who's been on the UK scene a lot, Timothy Thatcher. Can't argue with that. Like, he's a great fit for Bloodsport. I don't know if he's like again legitimately trained, but fuck me, he looks it, and he's aggressive, and he looks mean. I loved shout out Saxon Huxley. I loved that pairing in Japan, Saxon and Timothy Thatcher. Like, I remember seeing, when they first got put together, like, when you wouldn't put them together until you see them, and they're doing a press conference, and like Sax was like flipping the table, and like Timothy looked like the normal one, even though he's like looks mean as fucking crazy. But yeah, anyway, going off topic. But yeah, so Timothy Thatcher, and I would have him against Joe Wade, my boy Joe Wade, who I've been in there with a few times. But most notably, we've had no rope, no DQ blood fight that I like to do over in the UK, which is my own little spin on Bloodsport, which is no ropes, but also no DQ with the knockout and submission only element. Obviously you're allowed to leave the ring, we're allowed to use weapons. So it's a bit more of like a bar fight, a straightener with weapons, anything, like not like anything goes kind of thing. but that no pins, knockout submission only. Anyway, we did one of them and it was fucking great. I loved it. I like Joe Wade's one of those guys where like styles make fights, like work each other. It was in his first death match recently, earlier this year. Thank you for putting the trust in me to do that and be your first death match. Sorry, fucking notifications are popping up as I'm recording. I'm on my front camera. I will upgrade and get better cameras and shit, so the quality of these videos, things will only get better when I get that YouTube money and I can invest it into a fucking fancy camera. Anyway, Joe Wade, yeah, he's got that like style that I feel like I'll work really well with. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and again, that first death match where I'd like, fuck me, like he took the lot and he gave it. And even like when I've been in there with Joe and we're doing that kick, actually, he's got one of the hardest kicks, like off the top of my head, maybe the hardest. Like you feel them and you're like, oh yeah, and you boom, give it back, boom. But yeah, that's what you love, do you know what I mean? That's what I love, and like he does too, do you know what I mean? Obviously, we're keeping each other safe, but we're putting it in, laying it in, do you know what I mean? And I think like that's the way it should be. So yeah, that's about it, yeah. Timothy Thatcher versus Joe Wade. Again, Timothy Thatcher, a veteran of blood sport, UK, been around, I don't know what the right word is, I was going to say staple of the UK, but do you know what I mean? He's been around a lot in the UK over here, so he's a bit of a, I guess, he's known to the UK crowd. And yeah, Joe Wade would be a Bloodsport debut of him, deserves the opportunity, and I think that'll be a gnarly match, that like boom, 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 do you know what I mean? Fuck. Yeah, I like that. Now, on to the next one. We've got Kevin Lloyd. Again, I'd love to work Kevin Lloyd. I know he's been a bit unlucky with injuries recently, but I know he's on his way back. And I believe Kevin Lloyd actually is trained with a man himself, Josh Barnett, in catch wrestling. He's another one. Very, very, very legit. Very experienced grappler. Very experienced catch wrestler. Like shoot style wrestling, Olympic style wrestling, do you know what I mean? Yeah, very, very, very qualified, more than qualified to be on Bloodsport, and 100% should be. And again, a guy who deserves a marquee match in my opinion, and that is why I would have Kevin Lloyd versus Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey from Blackpool. Yeah, I believe he was born in America, and he's not English. But you know what? He's Regal's kid, and like, if Charlie Dempsey is not on Bloodsport London with the man himself, Sir Lord William Regal, in his corner, we will fucking riot. So yeah, I'm looking at it. This card's fucking mint. Do you want it? Yeah, Brett, Josh, do you want me? Tell you what, give us 10%. 10%. Everyone wants the 10%. Gary Ward. But yeah, this is a fucking fire card. There's two more matches to go. Sorry if this bit's a bit long, but as I said when I first started, I really thought about this, and like, I got quite into it. Do you know what I mean? I got quite into it. So the next match, we're gonna have a Battle of Scotland. We're gonna have, I don't know if he's retired or not, or if he's just doing little bits, but the guy actually I think it was my first defence of the European Deathmatch title on Bleeding Gums was a death fight, and it was against Dean Ford. Again, Dean Ford, legitimate background. He's had, I believe, Muay Thai fights, kickboxing fights. Good striker from Scotland. Very, very experienced. Totally would totally deserve that spot. I've been in there with him myself, and yeah, it was his first death match. Do you know what I mean? I had with him, and he fucking no fear, and obviously that comes from being a fighter. Do you know what I mean? You can't have fear. Lovely guy as well. Lovely guy, and would have him up in with Chris Bungard. I don't know if Chris Bungard. I feel like I've been told he has, but I'm not sure. I feel like Chris Bungard has done Bloodsport before, and I feel like because Bungard's doing. You know what? I've never met Chris Bungard. I've heard nothing but good things. He works on shows with Tim a lot. My boy Tim Strange. He says nothing but good things. I'd love to work him because I know he's doing wrestling now. So yeah, I feel like that would be great. Like Battle of Scotland, you know what I mean? Dean Ford versus Chris Bungard. I believe Chris Bungard fought in Bellator, which is incredible achievement. Again, I might be wrong, but I'm almost certain. I'm a bit autistic, so like when I hear things stick in, and sometimes I doubt myself what I'm saying, but 9 times out of 10 it's right. Asterix, it's wrong. He's not fought in Bellator. No, I think he's fought in Bellator. He's definitely a high level professional in the UK anyway, in terms of professional MMA, and he's been in and out of wrestling. So I think not only would I like to work with him at some point, but I think Battle of Scotland for UK Bloodsport, Dean Ford versus Chris Bungard, and we'll get straight into it. The last match we're going to have on there is my boy Benji, Bloodsport Benji Blue Belt. What a great achievement it is, by the way, to get a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a blue belt as well in Jiu-Jitsu, and basically being a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu means Benji could probably choke out 90% of the guys in the back, so be fucking careful. He has your spot on Bloodsport. No, but I'd love to see him in that environment. Obviously, again, like it was for me coming in, it was like I had the MMA training and the grappling and the kickboxing, whatever, and but I've always been a fan of wrestling, and like I had to apply it to that. But with Benji, it's the other way around. He's a great wrestler, loads of experience, great worker, and now he's applying the jiu-jitsu game to his work. And like I think that like obviously already understanding the game, and then applying that, I think he'd be a great fit and another one like well deserved. And I put him in with Jet Marshall. Again, he's done one of those blood fights with me, and he just reminds like a low key homicide. Like when I work with him, it's like Samoa Joe versus homicide, Samoa Joe versus low key. Again, one of those like styles make fights for me and Jet. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I hope I get to work him fucking 10 times over. Sorry if you have to, but yeah, he's great. Yeah. So, and again, that's like obviously that's the flyweight fight. You know what I mean? You got the fast strike of it, the fast grappler. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my call for Bloodsport. And again, I just reiterate, I don't know if any single one of these people are on Bloodsport or if any of these matches are happening. So it's 100% fantasy booking. So please don't be on the internet saying this, that and the other. 100% fantasy booking. Right, now this is the juicy one. Give us a second. Hello, is this thing on? Right. I was actually like buzzing when I seen this because this is what I'm about, you know what I mean? I like to keep it real. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I do a good job of keeping it real. I don't bullshit. I don't beat around the bush. And I see it how it is. So this one was, what was your honest opinion on what happened with Brett Semtex calling out Jimmy Havoc in the aftermath? So, first off, I'd like to say it's fuck all to do with Brett. So, there's no need to mention that. Brett was out there doing his job. Yeah. Now, as for Jimmy, I've never met Jimmy. But there is, and I don't know what's happened. But there is people who I'm very close to, who see his sound and vouch for him, say he's a good guy, and whatever was said on social media Didn't happen. But moving on from that, what I do believe in though is if it's one rule for one, it should be the same for everyone. Everything needs to be treated fairly. So, whatever, Jimmy Havoc is not wrestling right now. But if you do a bit of research and you look into the names of some people who got brought into this whole speaking out, cancelled movement, and you look at the independent wrestling scene now, you will notice that some of the people who were brought up around that time are now wrestling on shows, running shows, and coaching and running seminars. Like Now to Matter. And also, some of your favourite indie darlings are working for these people on shows that they run, and nothing's getting said. Now, again, I don't know what these people who kind of like grouping together, who I've just mentioned there, like I didn't mention anyone, but the group who are caught up in that and are working now, I don't know what they were accused of, and again, I don't know what anyone was accused of, and to be honest, I don't really care. But what I do care about is if it's one rule for one, it should be the same for everyone else. So if one's out, everyone's out. It shouldn't be everyone's out and now we're going to trickle a few back in. The ones we like, the ones who are pals with the boys, or we could make a bit of money off of them. They've got a good platform to work on, or they've got a good gym. Do you know what I mean? No, that's bullshit. Yeah? So that's all I've really got to say about that. Also, actually, a little point I want to add on. Take this for what you will. Trial by social media is a terrible, terrible thing. In real life, you commit a crime, you are judged, you get a sentence, and you do that sentence, and then you're let free back into society because the fucking justice system and whatever else thinks you're now fine, a reformed member of the world, the public, and are able to continue back into society. And that's how it works. You rob a bank, you go to jail, you do your time. If you're a good boy in jail, they'll say, right, you've learned your lesson, we forgive you, we think you're normal to go into live in society, and we don't think you're going to do it again. Off your pop. But in wrestling, that is not a thing. Somebody does something wrong in wrestling, it is trial by social media, and you always get a life sentence when it suits. Do your research. British top team on top. Up Brett Semtex. Okay, so next question. This is a good one as well. 3 things you'd change in the business. And I've got 2 written down and then a question mark. Working on the fly, brother. Called it in there. So the first thing that I would change is the handshake. Obviously, way before I've been wrestling like 7 years, all in, like, because I started training and obviously with me MMA background and shit, I think I had my first match within 6 months. So like, and I was trained, obviously not just jumping in 6 months. Like I was coached. My Rampage Brown, Screwface are my coaches, so more than qualified again. But anywho, you're taught always make sure you shake your hands and introduce yourself and blah blah blah. Now I think back and like, why did I ever shake that person's hand? They're a fucking cunt, and they're not even about now. And now I'm fucking well above them, or they're not even here. But anyway, that's a story for another time. That's stories for. In fact, it's probably not. Catches in private. Anyway, but yeah, the handshake. I think it's bullshit. I'm sure I seen a clip again again, I might just be making this up. I'm sure I've seen like Michael Oku coaching like a seminar, and he mentioned something about this. He goes like, "Not everyone come and shook my hand, by the way." And he's like, but then he goes, "Yeah, and I don't give a fuck about that because why the fuck would you need to?" And I totally agree. It's like, I kind of like, if you know, if it's like a, not like fuck it, not like totally disregard the handshake. You know, if it's like a formal first time meeting, do you know what I mean? Like, like introducing yourself. Yeah, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? But do you think I'm fucking getting in the car and shaking Tim's hand every time he picks us up every week? I'm a fuck. I'm sitting in the car and fucking punching him in the arm, going, "Yari bro," I'm going, "Can I smoke a tab?" Like, in all honesty, do you know what I mean? Do you think like I'm fucking like, you know what I mean? Like 9 times I like a fist bump. A fist bump. How's it going, bro? Boom. Or a hug. Like, do you know what I mean? Fist bump or a hug. If I see you loads, fist bump. Like, I don't mind a handshake, and I'm not gonna judge anyone who does handshakes, by the way. This is just me. Like, first time meeting, formal, whatever, fucking handshake, yeah, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Nice to meet you. Respect. Look in the man's eyes, look in the girl's eyes. Not in a weird way, like, do you know what I mean? You're not gonna be like, "Hi, my name's picking up, I'm glad to meet you," looking at the fucking floor. Yeah, you know what I mean though. But then after that, like, it's like fist bumps and hugs for me, do you know what I mean? Especially when you're on shows with, like, every month with the same group of guys, you know what I mean? Like, do we really need to do that? And then also, if anyone is going home and getting upset at the fact that like someone didn't shake the hand, you need to like go get some problems in your life. Like, fuck me, you've got too much time on your hands. Like, fucking hell, like, why? Like, it doesn't mean they're being a dick, do you know what I mean? Like, we didn't, and also like you're being a dick, like, by thinking you have the right to wait there, and everybody in the room or on the show should come to you and shake this. I'm not talking to anyone in particular, but I know that this probably fits quite a few people. Like, it, or should come. Nobody expects you to fucking. Who are you to think, "Oh, everyone should come to me and shake my hand"? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. So, what I'm talking about, and like, not like where the handshake for me. So it was when it was Clusterfuck, the GCW Clusterfuck show, and like, it was all in the room, like, it was like loads of people, and me, Big Joe, you know, those were all like, well, we're in the fucking degenerate corner, sitting on the fucking floor, fucking sneaking the drink past the fucking Palm security and all that, and anyway. Super crazy walks in. Super crazy for me. When I was a kid watching SmackDown, he was a fucking huge part of it. The Mexicools, super crazy. Fucking what a guy. And I believe this is the first time I ever encountered him. I was sitting on the floor. The moment he walked over, because again, you don't shake a man's hand, you don't introduce yourself to a man sitting on the floor. I went to stand up, and as I was standing up, I went, "Oh, I'm Luke," and he went, No, just you sit down. You don't need to stand up." But he like continued to shake my hand. "Nice to meet you." Do you know what I mean? And that's fucking super crazy. Do you know what I mean? So, get a grip. The next thing I will get rid of in wrestling, I mentioned this on podcasts I did with August. Wrestlers in gimmick in the comments on social media, to a degree, like. So what I mean is, like, when a promotion makes a post for the fans, who should we bring in? And then like a worker will comment off their personal Facebook and like tag their like worker page, and it's like, fuck off, mate, man. Like, how do you think that's gonna work? Do you think anyone has ever been booked like, oh, hey, this guy? Do you know what? Probably somewhere down the line it has, but fuck me, none of the shows I work on, Jesus Christ. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna get you booked, like fucking putting shit like that in the comments. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Anyway, and then also like promoing in the comments. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough. Like, you know, like you put a match graphic up or you share a post. Like, you might write something as the caption, like fucking kind of like in gimmick, or you know, like fucking whatever title match. Fucking, I'm not. He's not taking. I'm leaving with a gold. Fucking, I'm putting him out easily. I'm leaving with a gold. Fucking, I'm not losing this one. It's gonna be a war. Gonna be a bloodbath. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Fair enough. But then, like, there's no need for whoever to be then commenting under, like, me, like the whole, like, commenting like a fucking paragraph promo. I'm just thinking of, like, I don't want. I was that close to like dropping some names, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. But you all know he's a deathmatch world. People in the deathmatch scene will know. But yeah, like cutting promos in the comments, like, fuck off, man. Fuck off. Like, I think you get more out of it, like, hyping it real, be real. Do you know what I mean? I always say the best wrestlers are yourself turned up to 10. And ain't nobody turned up to 10 speaking like that in Facebook comments, do you know what I mean? Like, fucking hell, like, fucking me turned up to 10, right? Fucking someone's giving us shit, and I'm not fucking cutting. I'm in the fucking inbox. Yeah, what are you doing, you daft cunt? Oh, you fucking here, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm not going, me and you, we're going to fucking go toe to toe and head to head, and it's going to be a great battle, but I disagree with you, but fuck right off, man. Fuck out of the social media comments. Why don't you put that time into typing instead of typing that shit out into the comments? Why don't you film it, put in a promo, and stick it on your page and collab with the promotion without being asked? Food for thought. Get out the comments. Stop gimmicking online. Stop being in gimmick online in the comments, and stop trying to use the fucking comments section to get booked. And as well, we all know fucking Teresa from Teresa, who's mentioning, who's fucking, oh, who do you want to bring in? And you've got this wife, Teresa, right? One mutual friend. And then it's like they've tagged someone, and that mutual friend's that wrestler. And then you look into it, it's the fucking auntie. And they've obviously just went, oh, can everyone tag me on this, in this fucking page? Fucking popularity contest. Are they going to come buy tickets? Anyway, I get really hot on these. I need to smoke another joint. I'm getting a girl. I've got one more thing. Right, on the fly. I've got it. Wrestlers wrestling each other in the same colours or similar, like similar colour gear. Like, you look like you could be a tag team. Why is that tag team fighting? Bring 2 sets of gear. And also kind of like respect. Like, my favourite colour is orange, but I wouldn't wear orange against Rampage, or I wouldn't wear orange against the UK Pitbulls. Do you know what I mean? So I'm also going to bring me fucking blue gear, because I know they're not going to wear it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this even happens like on SmackDown and Raw. Like, why? Like, it's just bring 2 sets of gear that are opposites. Do you know what I mean? Football teams have a home and an away shirt. Do you know what I mean? To like tell the difference in like their opposition. So like, why the fuck is like wrestler A wearing red and wrestler B is wearing red? Do you know what I mean? Just laziness. Right. Second to last question. What is I got asked this like in 2 different ways. Basically, what's your favourite type of green? What's your favourite strain of green? And I would have like disappointed you, like, because for such a big 420er as I am, I really don't give a fuck. Like, as long as it gets me high, as long as it makes us chat shit, as long as it gets us baked and gets us chatting shit, I really don't care. If I had the choice between lemon haze and dog, I'd always pick lemon haze. I hope that gives you a bit of an insight. Don't want to be in the couched. I want to be sativaed. Some absolute weed head's gonna pull me apart for saying that, like, and I don't give a fuck. Do you know why? Because you might know more about me than weed, but this right hand would knock you out. No, I'm joking. Let's smoke together. Okay, last question for this video. Question 8. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it a lot. Now, I haven't sat and like tried to work out who's sent in what questions, but 2 questions, as soon as I see them, I was like, I think that's Tim. And they've both made it to this video. The shoot fight one from earlier and this one. And this question is, it's a bit of a tongue twister. I'm going to flash it up here, I think. And all the questions, hopefully, have been flashing up here. But if you owned a silly goose, how silly would you let it get before you said, hold up, that's enough? Now, I don't own a silly goose, but I feel like I am a silly goose, and this video has went on long enough. So, hold up, that's enough. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Chat Shit, Get Baked. If you want us to do another one like this, where I get you to send in anonymous questions, let us know. You could just give us a topic, I could just talk about it, anything. I just wanted, like, the whole point of this series is just chatting shit and getting baked. Like, I'd get a guest on, anything. But yeah, let us know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been wanting to do this YouTube shit for a while. And this is the first time I've actually sat down and did a video like this. Like, I've vlogged that before walking around, but like, content. Desktop. It's not even a desktop, it's a phone tripod. But yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Oi! Here we go. Back by not so popular demand. Well, people send shit in. So, there is an episode 2. Thank you to everyone who sent questions in. Send shit in. I just say send in your shit. It doesn't have to be questions. Just shit for me to talk about and make content about. Do you know what I mean? So thank you for everyone getting involved. Use other reason as an episode 2, because if no one sent shit in, I wouldn't be here. Look at this. Backdrop. Flags. New flags available. Before we get into this, I'm just going to plug the merch. Pokemon cards. Waiting for the Lucham ones to come in a cool little Charizard backing. That's Lou Nixon with Strange Lax. The Lucham ones, because we've got stickers. The Lucham cards are coming, but we've got the stickers here. So, the Pokemon cards, right? I feel like I'm onto something. So, yeah. What's people's thoughts on the Pokemon cards? How are we going to do this? Do you know what I mean? I want to get more. Keep making them like collectors. Maybe do like 2 cards a month. Do you know what I mean? Build them up. How do we do it? Do we get people involved? Do we get the other boys involved? I've had a couple of people say they want to be cards and they've said make us a card. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, everyone's going to make the dollar bills. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm going to become the riot zoo of Pokemon cards in the wrestling world. Anyhow, let's start. Chat Shit, Get Baked, episode 2. Okay, so we're going to go straight in. We've got another belter question because I have an answer for this, and eventually, hopefully, I will pull this off one day. So the first question, I don't have my laptop because I'm a bit shit with technology, and I was trying to install a game, and I didn't know how to install a game. So Alan, we'll get back to Alan. He comes up in this one. Alan's son Jack. He's very good with computers, so he's got the laptop. trying to it needs updated and everything and install this game. Anyway, so I'm on the old school pen and paper for this one, and we're starting off with a banger. Okay, so if you could create your own deathmatch tournament using 8 workers, who would be in it and what stipulations? Now, I already have an answer for this because I want to do this, and my vision is the Deathmatch World Cup, like I want to know like a proper World Cup, right? So imagine every time, right, I'm gonna go through the entrance. So imagine a Belter graphic made by Danny Douglas, okay, with the flag of each person in the background. Yeah, reppins, Belter graphics. Do you know what I mean? We're gonna have a World Cup, like something looking like the World Cup as a trophy. It's gonna be Belter. No like shitty. Oh, this is a World Cup, but it's not really. It's like 3 countries represented, and there's no flag graphics, and there's nothing. Okay, so first of all, representing England, you've got to have the man, the face of Brit Death, Big fucking Joe. Can't. I don't think it can be anyone else representing England in the World Cup. When it comes to deathmatch, do you know what I mean? Especially right now, he's got to be the one to do it. Okay, so moving on, we're gonna go straight into it. Canada. Tim Strange, there he is. He's off the Tournament of Death right now. Big love to Tim Strange. He's going to go smash Tournament of Death. And I believe he's got a match with One Man Crew in SVN. No comment. Yeah, so we're going to have Tim Strange repping Canada, Boosh. And then we're going to go on to Wales, Drew Parker representing, do you know what I mean? Me and Drew Parker. Love Drew. Big up Drew. I love that match we had. I want to have loads more. I want to have loads more matches with Drew. Lots of fun to be had there. Yeah, so we've got number 3, Drew Parker, repping Wales. And then we're going to go on to Scotland. We've got Emerson Jane. Yeah, causing havoc everywhere she goes. Yeah, repping Scotland. And that's the first woman into the tournament, but not the last, because we're going to go on to Australia, good eye mate, and we're going to have Charlie Evans in there. Yeah, me and Charlie had a good one at North. I really enjoyed that match. Hopefully we'll get to do it again. And she is also not the last woman in this tournament, because we're going to move straight on to Japan, and we've got Rina Yamashita. Yeah, that was my GCW debut against Rina. I loved that match too. That was the first time I ever took a hedge trimmer. That was it. I remember going to the shop with Brett Lauderdale and Jimmy fucking Lloyd to buy. Well, I didn't personally buy it, but Brett bought this hedge trimmer that I was gonna take, and like you were Jimmy checking the fucking wires and that. Funny. So what we've got there, 6. We've got Big Joe England, Tim Strange Canada, Drew Parker Wales, Emerson Jane Scotland, Charlie Evans Australia, Rina Yamashina Japan, and then we've got... I'm missing the obvious one. I should have wrote these down. America. We're going to go on to America. And America is whoever, like, at the time, because obviously America, you've got so many stars in America. At the minute, like, in deathmatch right now even. But obviously it's always changing. So right now, if this tournament was happening in 4 weeks' time or whatever, and I was advertising it, I want to get people in, it would be Bear Bronson for me. I would love to have work Bear Bronson. He seems like he's game as fuck. So I think we'll just batter the shit out of each other. I don't like heights, Bear Bronson, so I'm not going up no scaffolds with you, but I'll fucking batter you. I'll fucking batter you. And I'd let you batter me, and I'd love it. And we'd have a beer after. I seen in the Tremont match someone gave you water, and you're like, fuck that, give us some proper stuff. Respect, you're in the tournament. So we've got England, Canada. I'm really stoned, and I had this like all. I should have wrote it down. Wait, there, it's gonna come to us. It's gonna come. England, Big Joe, Tim Strange, Canada, Emerson Jane, Scotland, Drew Parker, Wales, Rina Yamashina, Japan, Charlie Evans, Australia, Bear Bronson, America. I'm being an idiot here, and I'm missing a country, and I bet people are shouting it in my face, shouting it right now at the screen. And I'm trying to think what it is. I don't know whether I'll leave this running because it could take us ages to get to this. Why have I had a memory blank? I've said this to people, bosh, and I can't even remember the country. As soon as I remember it, I'm gonna like slap myself in the face. I'll be back. It hasn't even been that long, and I'm back. Fuck me. Okay, this is why I forgot, because it's a little catch on this one, because Antonio Gonzalez representing Spain. There we go. I believe he could represent Spain in the World Cup, so he can represent in football terms. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure he's got enough. But by the by, he would be in it anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's my fucking tournament, and it's a Spanish name, Spanish as fuck. Do you know what I mean? So Antonio Gonzalez is in the tournament, repping Spain. Jesus Christ, that's why I couldn't remember, because it was a little twisty, a little catch on that one. But yeah, so we've got Big Joe repping England, Tim Strange repping Canada, Drew Porter repping Wales, Emerson Chain repping Scotland, Charlie Evans repping Australia, Japan is repped by Rene Yamashina, and then we've got America repped by Bev Robinson, and then we've got Spain repped by Antonio Gonzalez. So that's me tournament. Stipulations I don't know, but the opening round would be no glass, and the most glass would be in the final. Unless it was like, I don't know, say for example, I'm not in it, but if I was in the opening round and I wasn't winning, I'd be like, please can I just use me light tube nunchucks? I'd be like, go on Lou. Yeah, go on, because it's your thing and no one else is going to do it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Oh, and we'd also have to have, because obviously it can't be like tournament, you know what I mean? So there's got to be one non-tournament match. And in that tournament match, non-tournament match would be the British top team Open Challenge. And I'd probably get my boys, Michael Caden and Danny Dogg, to answer that. Much love. Straight on to question 2 here. I didn't even realise this rolled on so well. But what's your favourite BTT match? British top team. Me and my boy Brett, we've had many of battles with many opposition. Off the top of my head, because I always have fun tagging with Brett, and I believe every tag match we've had has been good. You know what I mean? It's been like there's none that have stuck out in my head. I mean, like, oh, that was terrible. But I think we'd probably say, like, we love working the pit bulls. I've had a few matches with the pit bulls. They're always fun as fuck to work. I remember it was like my CXW debut. We'll come to that later because somebody's asked. CXW, but I remember it was like me, Caden, and Danny O'Doherty like driving down, and I think we were on second and we were like late because O'Doherty has to have like 25 piss stops because he drinks 25. Well, not now, he's a man of God. But he used to drink 25 on the fucking Fanta lemons. Yeah, so I got there. He was on commentary as well. And like as we pulled up and we're getting out of the car, like we heard a bell ring. So like first match was on. I literally like ran in, getting changed as I'm getting called the match and shit. But yeah, all fun because again, we're on with the pit bulls and there's just no pressure. Lovely boys, legends, lovely legends. Going to watch. Is it this Sunday? Mike Bulk is playing in a band in Newcastle somewhere. I'm sure it's this Sunday, but I'm going to go anyway. I'm going to go because I'm free this Sunday. Also, notifications come up, sorry. I think we'd say we like working Franco and Brad Matthews. I've had some good matches with them. We had a couple. First match I had with them, Brad, mad respect to him, like he wanted to do the match and he did it with like a fuck knee that he needed like surgery on, like he tore some shit, and like I don't know exactly, so I'm not going to say what the diagnosis was because I don't want to misquote it, but his knee was fucked and he had to get surgery on the next day and he got through the match. Mental. And then we had one like more recently when we won the Kumite belts. Yeah, they're really good lads to work. Franco as well, I think like Franco must be sick of working me, but we've worked Franco in with like a variety of partners. We did Franco Tomby and Franco and Jack Bennett as well. Love that combo of Franco and Jack Bennett too. More like, because obviously Brad doesn't do much deathmatch stuff. We did actually I don't think we did any gimmicks in the last one. Now, but like obviously Franco's like best of both worlds, Hannah Montana, do you know what I mean? And then we've got Jack Bennett, straight edge as fuck, but he loves death matches. So Franco gets there. Franco, and with any combo of partner, is also a good one. I think other than that though, the match we had against each other, that was one of our favourite matches ever, me and Brett. Again on CXW. It was a no rope. I think it was the first match of the Extreme era. It was like a no rope, blood fight, no DQ, blood sport style. Unbelievable. Loved it. That went on back through the senton off the no ropes, off the apron, through the table. It's always scary. Like, I'm like, please God. But it's never went wrong yet. But yeah. There's the ones. Yes, this question's class because I have an answer for this straight away. If fans are allowed to bring signs to shows, have you got a favourite sign that you've seen? Yes, I fucking have. Tobias. Darwin is a nonce was the best sign I've ever fucking seen. Darwin is a nonce is the best sign I've ever seen. I believe he makes loads of signs. I think he's a really good artist, I believe. I have seen like a lot of good like arty signs, but like straight up sign Darwin is a nonce is the best sign I've ever seen. And that's all I can say about that. Alright, so everyone loves Chat Shit Get Baked because, you know, if you ask us a question, I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to bullshit. So we're going to get a bit juicy now. We're going to get a bit spicy. And someone sent, did you KO Nathan Black? Now, what I am going to say is, not with my ears sticking out Marty, me collie lug, is the name of this podcast is Chat Shit Get Baked, and that derives from Chat Shit Get Banged. Now, I believe less people would chat shit if a lot more people lived by that motto of Chat Shit Get Banged. Yeah. Oh, and to answer the question, I didn't knock him out because if you look, he was up for the F5 after. Thank you very much. Anyway, back to the fun. We're gonna do a bit of a quick fire bosh. So because we've got a few like this, so off wrestling topic, non-wrestling related ones. So boom, first question: what's your go-to Mackey's order? Now I thought of this one like if I was only gonna have like one McDonald's ever for the rest of my life. We're gonna go with I don't know, like obviously you get like the special burgers that are on like from like alternate, but like go to, you can't beat a Big Mac meal. Do you know what I mean? A Big Mac, large fries, bosh, and then we're gonna have a milkshake. I don't know what flavour it's gonna be. It changes every day. I really like the vanilla milkshake. I really like a strawberry milkshake. I really like a chocolate milkshake. I quite like a banana milkshake from time to time. That would probably be the bottom of the pile though. But it's going to be a milkshake of some kind. And then we're going to have a box of chicken nuggets with curry sauce, because that's all I fucking need. The curry sauce from McDonald's is like next level. Nowhere replicates that. It's just like its own shit. No, I wonder I lose my lighters all the time. It's just its own thing, like that curry sauce. It's like, correct us if I'm wrong, but I would like it in a bottle in my cupboards. And we're going to have a dessert. We're going to have whatever the promotional McFlurry is at the time. Probably, I would hope it would be a cream egg one. But I've heard there's a Jaffa Cake one at the minute. But I'm yet to try it, so it would probably be that one if I got to try that. Okay, moving on. Favourite sweets and candy. Bosh. Fizzy fish all day. Me and Tim Strange. Love the fizzy fish. If you bring me the fizzy fish, you're going to be on the Christmas card list. Other than fizzy fish, I really like fruit pastels because it reminds me of my granda. Because he always used to get us them. Favourite aftershave. Moving on. Favourite aftershave. Cool water again because it reminds me of my other granda. I'm a bit autistic me, so like I like things that remind us of things. Yeah, so cool water. He always used to wear that. I've got some in there. I've got a range between me and Alan, me housemate. We've got a range of colognes in there, but cool water's my favourite. So I don't know if I've been asked this question because of like I smell nice, but I'm going to use this time to promote Dragon's Hoard beard oil because that's what you might be smelling. This one is pine and orange, but they do a variety of flavours of beard oils and beard balms, and this one, any with orange, you've got me sold. I think orange, I always seem to give us like an orange one. I've got this one. And I think there's an orange and pomegranate one. These bottles, this is like a new design bottle, so this might be a new range. But yeah, that's what you might be smelling. Dragon's Hoard, beard oil, and wax. Big up the plug. Now I'll tell you sponsor. That's a fucking sponsor. That's how it's done. I had to turn my page, and I missed the one of the quickfire questions. If you were a kebab, what sauce would you drown yourself in and why? Now, I am a bitch and I can't have the spice, so it's gonna have to be garlic all day. Simple as. I can't see anything more. Right, that was the quickfire round over and done with. We're going to get a bit serious, a little bit spicy. We're going to start with this one. Good question. A while back, you were vocal about your beef between you and Danny DeMonto from ICW. Was this a work or was this real? And I can tell you it was real. It was him. It's all good now, but it was him because obviously at the time I was working for XPW. I just started getting out of America with them. And they had, Danny DeMonto had Heat with Rob Black, nothing to do with me, and I was stuck in the middle. Do you know what I mean? I was like, do you know what I mean? Like when your parents are arguing, and you're the fucking kid in the middle, and you're like, I don't know what to do, and like your fucking ma's going, meh, meh, your fucking dad, and then your dad's going, meh, 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 your ma, and like that's what I felt like. So like, yeah, and I just like, and obviously, I knew, well. In hindsight, it's all fucking changed, isn't it? If only you knew then what you know now, do you know what I mean? But you could say that about everything in life. But yeah, so obviously at the time I was in a good position with XPW and I gave us good matches, and I didn't know if I was going to get any more with ICW after that, and it was basically one or the other. And obviously XPW were paying as well, and they were giving us good matches. Like the next match they gave us after this was Necro Butcher, do you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah. So I did that. Danny DeMonto, obviously, rightly so, got angry, vocalised about it, and I'm not wanting to keep my mouth shut either. So I couldn't even remember what was said, but it was real beef, and we turned it into a work in the ring. We turned it into business at the second Rise ICW weekend, where I come out in the Mystery Vortex, and we fucking settled it in the ring like men, and then ever since Danny DeMonto's been boss man again, and yeah, do you know what I mean? Sometimes that's the way it goes, do you know what I mean? Like just because you have like, especially in wrestling, like do you know what I mean? Like just because you have like a disagreement at one time doesn't mean you have to hold that grudge forever, especially when it's something like that, do you know what I mean? And obviously like the fans knew about the beef, and I remember like he was out first, and then my music hit, and there was like, oh, it's about to go down, like in the crowd, like watch it back. Do you know what I mean? No other match got that reaction. Do you know what I mean? That was real as fuck. Do you know what I mean? So it was real, and then it got turned into business. It was never out of work because it wasn't. Obviously we worked together well in the ring. We had a great match, and we made it seem like we hated each other in there, but obviously by that point, like, because like, if we didn't like each other, we'd ended up as an all-out massacre in the ring. Do you know what I mean? Like, give two men who don't like each other all a glass, like fucking hell, no one's getting out of that shit. Do you know what I mean? So obviously by that point, like before that, it had been settled. But yeah, Danny DeMonto, boss man, mass respect. Unfortunate about what's happened. With the Scotland tour that was meant to be this weekend. Again, unfortunately, what's happened to Bleeding Gums. I don't even know what's happened. I'm not in a position to speculate either, and that's not what this podcast's about. I just want to give big love to Andrew Crammond, and I want to give big love to Bleeding Gums for all the opportunities that they give us over the short but fierce time it was here. This is a good question. Lots of people in wrestling ask who the best wrestler is, but let's give credit to young sung heroes in matches. Who's the best ref in the UK? That's a really good question. I've been fortunate enough
to work with lots of good refs. You've got obviously Scott Bell straight up off the top of my head. Do you know what I mean? Bosch, he's the man. Rich Swift as well. Do you know what I mean? Up there, upper echelon. And then you've got the ladies. You've got Sandy and Katie, great refs. And just because the ladies doesn't mean they take shit. I wouldn't be questioning them if they say that was a fucking 3 or 2. Sorry, I'm like, okay. I'm not fighting them fuckers. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell, do not let that fool you. Yeah, you've got. So there's a lot. I don't want to like say like miss people out, but there's a lot. There's like you have Ross just recently retired. He seems a bit old to call it a retirement, but I don't want to say quit either because he didn't quit. Like he stopped reffing. But he made a thing like he posted like saying like he reffed like most of my matches like out of anyone. And I replied, I was like, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I'm really, really sorry about that. More so than not, on shows that I'm on, the refs are always good, always great. And it's very, very rare you come across a bad one. We do have a few stories involving bad refs. None who have been mentioned in this video, by the way, but that's not what the question was about, and I'm not going to tell those stories. Peace and love. Up the refs, up the zebras. Also, I feel bad because he needs a mention. Steve Dean from Kubate always looks after us in the matches. Yeah, just had to add that on there. He should be vocalised. There you go. I'm so stoned. I like I just cut. Here we go. Next one. What's your opinion on fans getting involved in storylines with promotions? Now, my thoughts on this is if it benefits the promotion and it makes sense, yeah, go for it. For example, recently WWE had Jelly Roll in a match. I don't really know who Jelly Roll is. He's some kind of singer. Anyway, Jelly Roll obviously is a fan. I know he's famous, right? But that's what I mean. It's bringing something to the product. You know what I mean? It's bringing some purpose to the reason this fan is getting involved, because he's got celebrity status and eyes on him from another platform. So yeah, he come in, did this match at SummerSlam, and then I was watching the Paris pay-per-view the other day, and he's there with Post Malone, front row again, just cheering. Wee, totally crazy. Man, I feel like a woman. I know neither of them sing that, but I bet they both love that song, because I do. Yeah, anyway, and that's what I mean. Back behind the guardrail, you know what I mean? He's not a wrestler anymore. He's done his bit. Ticked it off the list. And it's probably benefited both parties, the music world and the wrestling world. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. So, other than that, like, I don't really feel like it has its place. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with fans watching shows and then going like, oh, I want to become a wrestler, and then going to train at with a good coach like Rampage or Liam Slater, and building up and putting the reps in and putting the hours in the class in training, and then becoming a wrestler. And then even maybe using an angle where they're in the crowd, Santino Marella comes in, and then he's a wrestler. Do you know what I mean? Wins the belt, or like not necessarily wins the belt. In this instance, what I'm talking about, but like wins a match or is in there, puts up a good fight and gets the respect. You know what I mean? But obviously that's built from him or her going through training, from becoming a fan. Which, I mean, like, none of us would be wrestlers without being fans anyway. Do you know what I mean? There's nobody becomes a wrestler without watching it. Do you know what I mean? Without being a fan. Like, that's crazy. Like, dude, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Imagine that. Like, yeah, actually, I don't know. You probably do get it in America. Like, when they sign all these college athletes, probably like, who's Andre the Giant? I don't know why they talk like that. Yeah, but that's my 2 cents. How do you manage double bookings? Number one, you need a good driver. Because I am a passenger princess, so I need a driver. And then ultimately, it is about communication between, like, obviously, like, realistically, you've got to first work out if it's going to be possible to do, like, distance wise. Like, for example, I did Derby, Kumite, and then we did Big Top. Me and Brett, Kumite, Derby, and then Big Top, and down like Norwich way, Cromer, whatever it is, way down south. It wasn't west. It's way down south. Don't know why I said that. Anyway, but yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, went on first to Kumite, straight in the car and we're off. Do you know what I mean? And then we're on in the second half of that show. But that was about communication with the bookers. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've got a double. My advice would be, like, and if number one, make sure it's doable travel wise within the times, and then communication with the promoters. Make sure, like, one promoter's got you on first and one promoter's got you on at the end. I did it the other week, actually, last weekend with North and Full Tilt. Obviously, they were only 10 minutes away the venues, but the show started at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So I had to, like, confirm I would be on by 7 o'clock with Full Tilt. And then I was going on second. I knew I would, and then I confirmed with North that I was going on second last. Do you know what I mean? So it was fine. So there was, like, no way it was ever going to go wrong. But yeah, that's how I manage. Let's get spicy again. He's hot. He's spicy. He tastes great. Big Lou Nixon. Thoughts on CXW? First and foremost, I would like to say I am still one half of the reigning and defending CXW Tag Team Champions with Brett Semtex, British Top Team on top all day. I would like to get that out there. And then I would like to move on by saying CXW is a great promotion and they're on to great things, and I thoroughly enjoyed and enjoy every time I have been on CXW in the past. I've told people about this before, without going into too much detail, because the last one of these was an hour, and I would never want anyone to watch me for an hour. I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know how long I've waffled on for already. But this is question 13, and this is 15. So yeah. Anyway, they were doing the no rope show. Obviously, me and Brett were the no rope knockout submission only extreme show. Obviously, me and Brett did the match against each other. We were like the whole fucking thing, the advertisement for that show, and then the booking was put together, the match I was meant to be part of, and I felt like the finish of the match did not benefit me, nor the promotion, nor the person I was wrestling in any way, shape or form. So I asked if we could alter or change the finish of the match, and I got told, basically, in a nutshell, do as you're told. And I was like, well, if you want us to shit all over everything I've worked on and everything I'm trying to achieve, maybe pay us a bit more, because I do this for money or love, and I don't love this idea. So money, please. And then I got told I had a bad attitude. Maybe not, but I don't think I should be passing out on a sharpshooter. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. Alright, we're gonna draw the curtain back. I have had jiu-jitsu. I have massive, like, MMA and jiu-jitsu experience from when I was a kid, before I even started wrestling. A sharpshooter is not seen in the jiu-jitsu curriculum as a submission. no, like I've seen one Walls of Jericho finish in an MMA match. Like, bless the guy who was on the end of that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, an MMA guy passing out to a wrestler and a sharpshooter isn't doing me no favors in a show that I have been promoted, like the face of promoting with Brett, like for being legit fighters. Like, we went to a draw with each other. Do you know what I mean? We didn't want to beat each other. So yeah. Anyway, but as I say, I am still one off the reigning and defending tag team champions. And if anything, if Paris wants to give us the chance, I feel like he should let us defend the belt and go out on my shield, because I am a fighting champion. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighting man before anything. If he wants to stack the odds against me and put in a fucking seven team TLC match, do you know what I mean? Where we're like Steiner maths, 33 and a third % chance of winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, but just let us go out on my shield. Your fans love British top team. Your fans love a bit Big Lou Nixon. As it happened with Demonto, there was business there to be done. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to do anything that I feel harms me and doesn't benefit me or the promotion or the people involved. And ask anyone, I'm very easy to do business with. I'll put over anyone, if it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So I probably got. He probably went around and said, I'm hard to work with and all that. That is slander, because I know I'm very easy to work with, but I'm just not an idiot. So yeah. I had a question like this in the last one. This one is, when are you going to conquer Japan? I don't know. When the Japanese come calling, do you know what I mean? When the Japanese go, hey, Big Lou Nixon, it's nice to see you. We want you. Want you in Japan. Here's your flights. How much do you want? Do you know what I mean? I don't really have any links in Japan, so it's not really like I can go fishing for it. Do you know what I mean? So I guess it's on you guys, it's on the fans. Make some noise, and because I love sushi as well, you know. And I'd love to wrestle in Japan as well. So yeah, go make some noise. Go tell the Japanese promotions that you want to see Big Lou Nixon. But I did get told I was too handsome for Japan at one time, but I don't feel like I am now. It's been a hard year. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you very much, because again, I expect nobody to tune in and listen to me talk, like tune your radio. I expect no one to listen to me talk for this long. So if you have, I appreciate it. Slam that like button. No, please, I'm trying to get I've got like 270 subscribers now, which is belter. It's like shooting up. So my goal is 1,000, but I've got a semi goal. I've got a semi goal of 500. So we're nearly there. When I hit 1,000 subs, I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give away flags, cards, shirts, bosh to one lucky subscriber. But more on that closer to the time. Last question. Back to Al. What's your housemate, Alan? They spelt his name wrong. Because this is why I can tell they don't know me either, because it's Allen. Like to live with, and does he have any annoying habits? You know what, Alan, I'd be lost without Alan. He has no annoying habits. I'm the annoying one. And he keeps me right. He keeps me level through day-to-day life. And he's not here right now. He's at his missus's. Yeah, we've got split custody of Al, me and his lass. I have during the week, and she has Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But no, he's great, Al. He's great. Keeps me right. I'm thinking about doing a series with Al. So Alan was a big fan of wrestling as well. But he's was a big fan like WCW and that back in the day. So I'm thinking about it, because I haven't really seen much of that. So I'm thinking about doing maybe me and Alan, he says right, he ask him to put a pay-per-view on of an old WCW that he thinks was great, and we'll just react to it. I don't know if we can actually have the footage on the screen as well, or it'll be us in the corner, or it'll just be us reacting to it. But yeah, what do you think of that? Because Al is a very funny guy. Anybody who's met Al within 10 minutes to call him Uncle Al. And that's what he is. Uncle Al. Big love to Uncle Al. Yeah, and that's a nice note to end the video on. Thank you for watching episode 2. Will there be an episode 3? I fucking hope so, because these are quite fun. And I enjoy making them. And I want that YouTube money. 1,000 subs, let's go. Boosh. Here we go. We are back with episode 3 of Chat Shit Get Baked. Now, little disclaimer before we start. My PR team have been onto us. And due to the goal of becoming monetized on Facebook, they have recommended that I don't smoke weed on camera. But I just want you to know, this will always be Chat Shit Get Baked. And off camera, the bacon was done. Okay, so we're going to get straight into it, alright? Question 1. Alright, so going to get in with a serious one here. Bit of a serious one. Do you think Bleeding Gums will ever make a comeback? Now, I think this is a good one to start off with. And I think that question should be changed. It shouldn't be, the important question isn't like, do you think Bleeding Gums will ever make a comeback? It's more on like Andrew's health and well-being. Do you know what I mean? That's the ultimate like goal, like the ultimate sign and the ultimate goal that Bleeding Gums would make a comeback. Do you know what I mean? And at the moment, obviously, he's took himself off social media and stuff after the announcement, and like no one's heard anything else. But that's okay. Do you know what I mean? You've got to give him time. People's health and well-being is more important. Obviously, Bleeding Gums was a great show and had some great memories on the run that they had. But whatever's happened, obviously, I know Andrew wouldn't shut up shop for no reason. So, yeah. Do you think ever, like, so whether it does or whether it doesn't, like, isn't important. I feel like Andrew's health and well-being is the most important thing. Yeah. So, obviously, I'd like to thank Bleeding Gums for all the memories and all the great opportunities. And I would love it to make a comeback. I don't know if it will, but I would love it to. But obviously that all comes down to Andrew and how he is. And that is the number one priority in all of this. So, big up to Andrew, big up Bleeding Gums. And if you're watching this, Andrew, I hope you're well. Big Lou loves you still. Okay, question 2. Be no professional in that. Trying to tie in all the questions. So, next question. When you come back to Scotland, much love from Scotland. Hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you, Scotland. When am I coming back to Scotland? Have I got anything in the pipeline? No, I haven't. So, the answer to that is, whenever a company books us in Scotland, go make some noise on social media. Go get in the comments of all the Scottish promotions. Because that's not my job. Do you know what I mean? I look like a fool if I do that. I've spoke about this in previous videos and podcasts that I did about idiot wrestlers who go in the comments going, book me of promotions, asking fans who they want to bring in. So fans in Scotland, I'd give Valor a miss if I was you, but I'd love to work for ICW. ICW, I remember before I even started wrestling. I know a lot's changed since then, but ICW was the first like independent wrestling show I'd ever watched before I became a wrestler at the O2 Academy. I remember the first match, Rampage Brown was in the first match, who ultimately became my coach. And like you had the likes of Grado, I remember seeing the Madonna entrance for the first time. And then fast forward to last year's Thunderstruck, as I'm coming out of the best tune in wrestling. I Won't Forget You by the Blackout Crew. Who's peeking out the curtain, appreciating it, nodding his head? Grado, do you know what I mean? So that would be a good one. But there's lots of good promotions in Scotland that I haven't worked for that I see popping up. So yeah, whenever a promotion will have me, I will be back. Question 3, here we go. Who is your favourite person to travel with? Now, I feel like if I don't answer this question with this person, you'll get really angry with us. No, I'm only joking. It's always going to be Big Tim, isn't it? Big Tim Strange. He's like the person I travel with the most. Like right, he's probably like the only other than Anna when I'm a passenger princess. Tim's like the person I travel with the most and have travelled with the most. I owe a lot to Tim for
getting us out on the road initially when I first started doing those long drives to WAW, when I first started going down there to Norwich and putting those miles in and getting noticed, do you know what I mean? And like ultimately for both of it started to pay off, do you know what I mean? Tim fucking smashed it in Tournament and Death the other week, and getting some well deserved recognition, do you know what I mean? Internationally. And I owe a lot to him. And I just appreciate having a big brother like that to hit the road with nearly every weekend. Yeah, eating fizzy fish on the road. Don't forget, if me and Tim are on a show together, bring fizzy fish to merch table and you get 0% off merch. But yeah, can only answer, that's got to be the only person I can answer that question with, and that's from the heart. Big love, Tim, if you're watching this, because I know you are. And also, back to the question, back to this shit, right? So, from the first episode, okay, there was who would win the fight, me or Tim. Now, Tim says ChatGPT says he would win in the fight. Now, I think he must have undersold my credentials to ChatGPT for him for ChatGPT to say that he would win, because like it says it would, like, Tim would be 5 lose, and I just don't know how the fuck that's possible. Like, he's probably like described his skill level as like similar to a prime Mike Tyson. And I remember in the car he said I weighed 170 pounds, which is like ridiculous. So yeah, everyone get on ChatGPT and ask who would win the fight, me or Tim Strange, and be honest, and post the results somewhere. I don't know if you can post photos in the comments of the YouTube videos. You can't, but just put them online. You know what I mean? I'll share them about. It'll be funny. Question 4. So I've got notes. I'm getting more and more professional by the episode. I've got the laptop back. Big up Jack for fixing the laptop. All updated. I've got my notes, and I've got the questions in order, and I've got notes. And this question is, how do you set up a deathmatch with an opponent? Do you go over spots? Or is it I'll see you out there? And I wrote, I hope not. I hope it's not I'll see you out there when we're playing with glass. No, of course, like, ultimately, ultimately for like a great match to happen, especially with a death match, when you're using gimmicks and contraptions, and you're hitting each other with things and going through things, and the level of risk involved is like multiplied by 100 compared to a normal match. And that's as well as all of the risks that come with a normal match. Do you know what I mean? Like the little things that can go wrong. So yeah, from me personally, 10 times out of 10, it's always we're going over shit. Do you know what I mean? I know you get the guys like, I know Big Tim, again back on to Big Tim, the vets. Do you know what I mean? Iceman stuff. Them guys are like, probably like they'll call a start, a middle, and a finish, and be like, I see you out there. But those guys have been doing it years, 20 plus years. Do you know what I mean? And I'd feel safe in there with one of those guys. Do you know what I mean? Doing that. But ultimately, for me personally, I do like to go over things, especially when we're rolling around with glass. And it's I just feel like when you're both on the same page, well, I say both, whoever's like, when everyone in the match is all on the same page, and there's no questions and there's no doubts, oh, what do I do here? Because under the, no matter how skilled you are, and under the lights, do you know what I mean, in front of a crowd, anything can happen, do you know what I mean? You can go over it 1,000 times in the back, and you could go out there and it can go all tits up, do you know what I mean? That might not even be your own fault or your opponent's fault. It could be anything, do you know what I mean? It could be, like, especially with death matches, one wrong angle of light tube hits you, boom, a nasty gash happens. That might have to change the whole course of a match, you know what I mean? So I've just basically contradicted myself. So when something like that happens, it's probably best to say I'll see you out there, do you know what I mean? Because there's then nothing's planned. But I think it's all down to personal preference for that one. But yeah, for me personally, I'd like to know what the fuck's going on. Have you ever had a death match with someone and you feel like this guy is fucking nuts and I better be on guard or ready to shoot? People probably think that about me when it's probably the other way around. No, I'm nice, me. I'm like a big bear, big cuddly bear. That not like Lotso Bear Toy Story. He was a cunt, even though he smelled like strawberries. Not like that bear, and not like a grizzly bear that would eat you. A nice bear. No, I haven't felt that, to be honest. Um, when I've wrestled Redacted, like he does nuts shit, and I've never been like, oh, I need to ready to shoot on him. I've just been like, fucking hell, this guy's a nutter, and I best watch out for like him putting a bin on his head and doing a backflip onto us with tubes wrapped around it. Do you know what I mean? But that's like just being on guard because he's a nutter, and like, do you know what I mean? But that's good. I've had 2 matches with Redacted, and I love them both, and they're both great. But like, that's just me as a fighter being like fucking aware of what this guy's bringing to the table and how dangerous he could be, but never like, oh, I'm gonna fucking hurt him if he hurts me. Do you know what I mean? Not in that sense. The only person that springs, I've never wrestled him, but the only person that springs to mind that I probably would go into this mindset is Slade, because he stabs people and shit. Maybe he's just a really good worker and he's working me, but I'd definitely be on guard if I was working Slade. Like, he doesn't fucking blink. He's got like, gives off school shooter vibes. Best locker room fight you have seen. No, I've not really like seen a fist fight, like, but like the first thing that sprung to mind for this one was when I first debuted for XPW. What a wild fucking time that was. But it was like after the match, and like obviously I didn't know anyone there, and there was some guy, I don't even know who it was, but he was like drunk, and he turned out, like I thought he was like in with a show because he was like behind the curtain bit. Like, if anyone's wrestled on XPW at the Derby rooms in Cali, obviously you come behind the curtain, there's the big long wall, and there's like the trailer kind of bit, it's all like outside, and he was like in there, and like he was like seeing he wanted to get a shirt and that, and like I'd packed up and that because it was like the end of the show again, which made me think he was part of the show. So I went in and was like, yeah, so I'll come get your shirt, yeah, no worries. And I started going and getting my shirt, and he like followed us in, and as I was getting my shirt out of the bag, like Schlack just goes, I fucking told you 3 times, keep the fuck out of here. And he just like went for him, and I've never seen a guy move so fast. And then like there was a fridge full of loads of beer, and that fucking wobbled, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, I didn't know who the fuck's that. And he's like, he's a fucking idiot. And I was like, oh, he said he wants to buy a shirt. And I'm sure Schlack was like, he's got no fucking money. But yeah, I've never seen, like, that way, that wouldn't even been a fight. That would have been like a one-sided murder on Schlack's part because he's a fucking animal. But I've never seen like a square go, 2 guys fucking, let's go, boom, boom. Like, you know what I mean? I've never seen anyone getting jumped either. Like I've made it sound like I've seen like a one-sided beatdown album, but that's like the closest I've seen without me being involved. What tactics would you use to defeat Marty Jones in a straightener on the cobbles, assuming Marty Jones was in his prime and not an ancient dinosaur from the past? Now, in all seriousness, Marty Jones doesn't spring me as a fighter at all. Even like imagining him when he was younger and in his prime, if he ever had a prime, or was he just riding Andre the Giant's coattails or contrails? Anyway, that's anyway. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But he doesn't spring me to be a fighter. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't look like he could handle himself. He talks a good game online. Do you know what I mean? Still to this day talks a good game online for an old man. So I feel like back in the day he was probably just the same. Do you know what I mean? Talked a good game, gave it all this shit talk, fucking dropped some names. But nah, he doesn't strike me at all as a fighter. I don't think any tactics would need to be involved. I think I could go in there with a beer in one hand and a cigarette in my mouth, and I'd be generous if I said if I'd give him 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean? That's generous. Do you know what I mean? That's probably me like finishing me tab me beer. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think he'd stand a chance. Tim's got more chance than Marty Jones, and that's being generous as well. Don't know who this was, but do you think you're hard? Do you think you're hard? I'm 13 and I've battered more sausages than you have. Now, firstly, what I want to say, whatever you do in your free time, please don't bring to my podcast, okay? Because we're not about that. Fair enough, it's 2025, but we don't need to know how many sausages you batter in your spare time. And to answer, do you think I'm hard? Yes, I am. For your fucking mother. Not a question, a statement. I've seen you a few times, and you're without a doubt one of the most electrifying men in deathmatch entertainment today, and an all-round good sausage. Well, I appreciate that, but I'm not the most electrifying man in deathmatch entertainment. That's Jack Harrop. I'm not stepping on that gimmick. And secondly, what's with all the sausage talk this week? Again, each to their own, but what the fuck's with all the sausage talk? It's got real weird this week. Okay, past all the sausage talk. If there's any wrestlers you don't get along with, how do you put up with them when they're on the same show as you? Now, me being me, I can put up with anyone, I get on with anyone, do you know what I mean? If they're sounding and I cunt in my face, or if I haven't heard they've been a cunt, so I don't need to ask them about it. But let's flip that. How do you get on with everyone you work with in day-to-day life? Do you know what I mean? When you're working if you work in a call center or like hundreds of people, do you get on with everyone you work with? Do you know what I mean? Or do you walk around how do you go to work every day and put up with fucking Deborah on desk 10 who fucking drinks all your almond milk? How do you deal with her every day? Do you know what I mean? I'll ask you the same question. Put the answer in the comments. Do you know what I mean? How do you get on with them? By being a professional and by being an adult and by having at least 3 joints before you turn up to the show. Who is your dream opponent, past or present? Only one answer. The big man, Samoa Joe, has to be. He's my favourite wrestler to watch. I learn a lot from him watching him. I've never met him. So Samoa Joe versus Necro Butcher is one of my favourite matches of all time. Number one, because again, it's like a Samoa Joe, one of my favourites, as I've said, my dream opponent. And then you've got obviously it's a fucking no DQ. I wouldn't say it's a death match, but it's a very bloody, violent no DQ match. And obviously you've got the great Necro Butcher in there, who is a deathmatch legend. And that just blends to me that's Big Lou Dixon's fucking wet dream of a match. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that I got to work Necro Butcher, hopefully that shows how crazy and how much that means to me. You know what I mean? It's insane, especially when it happened 2023. Fucking hell, who would have thought me, little old Big Lou Nixon from fucking Wickham Strip, fucking fighting the Necro Butcher a couple of years ago. Crazy. But yeah, Samoa Joe all day. I'm not saying I doubt it's gonna happen. I think he's probably gonna be done soon. But yeah, that's why it's a dream. We can all dream. It was all a dream. I don't know. Maybe if I build me following, I can chat some shit and drag him out of retirement when I get to that level. But in all seriousness, Samoa Joe, I think would do some magic. Put in the comments if you think me and Samoa Joe would have a good match. I think we fucking would. Joe. I just need to make a disclaimer before we move on to question 12. So again, I try to be all professional and stuff and have everything prepared. So I try to download all the clips that I've normally been flashing up here and here for the videos. And for some reason, Instagram, which is where obviously I get most of my clips because all my good shit that obviously I post on Instagram. So for some reason, I couldn't copy my links to put into an Instagram downloader. I'm not very fucking technical, so maybe there's a better way to go about it. But I couldn't fucking do it. I managed to get the one of fucking for me and Tim, and after that it wasn't working, and I've been trying, and I'd be on all day trying to figure out, and then the video would be delayed. And obviously I need to keep my promises to you that the video is going to be out today, which it will be. So obviously I apologise for that, because obviously for this question here, I would be flashing bits and bobs up. And the question is, what has been your favourite match in Rise? Doesn't have to be one you was in. So obviously it's going to be one I was in. Fucking hell, I'm not going to fucking pick anyone else. No, I'm joking. I'm going to pick one of mine. I'm going to pick 2 of mine, actually. The first one, obviously, I've spoke about this on the first episode, I believe. Who's your favourite person to work? B-Heroes.
That match from, was it the second God? Someone correct us in the comments if I'm wrong. I believe it was the second God. Second Games of Death tournament at the Hull, the Wellian Hull. Basically, it was when I just turned heel, won the belt. The Rumble show, I come out, did the promo where I accepted Wrestler of the Year, called Ken Shamrock fucking pussy, open challenge because they wouldn't let us defend the belt in the Brood Nell at the time. Death matches weren't and still aren't allowed in the Brood Nell, for I'm aware. But we also had Danny O'Doherty, the man of God, swinging fucking crucifix light tubes in the Brood Nell. But I think there was a fight going on in the crowd then, you know. I didn't see it, and I think that might have distracted the bar staff. But hopefully none of the fucking Bruno bar staff watched this. He didn't do it. It's all an act. It's all for YouTube monetization. It's all a show. But yeah. And then that led to the death match at the show. I'm sure it was night one of the second ICW weekend, Games of Death. But yeah, I love that match with BA. I've already said how much I love BA, and he's the man. BA is the man. But yeah, hopefully I can get my hands on that match soon and post it on my YouTube channel for everyone to enjoy in full. But yeah, if anyone was at that show, I'm sure they will all say they agree with me there. And the second one, I'm terrible with fucking show names. It was me and Drew Parker, one-on-one at the Peddler's Warehouse. I can't remember the name of the show. Was it Spooky Slam? Was it a Spooky Slam, me and Drew? I don't know, but it's the only one we've had on Rise, and it's the only one-on-one we've had. I love that match. I just think chemistry-wise, I love Drew as well. Drew's the man. I love Drew. I'm looking forward to seeing him soon, having a party. But yeah, we're good pals, and we had good chemistry in that match. And I think style-wise, it's weird because obviously I sing Be Heroes praise all the time, and I think I mesh so well with him. But like 9 times out of 10, style-wise, if you had to ask me, like, no names in particular, but like if it had a blueprint of like wrestler styles, this wrestler, like somebody like a Drew Parker, someone a bit lighter than me who can move a bit faster than me. Do you know what I mean? And like I feel like that complements me and my hard-hitting style very well. Similar, it's like the Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels whole thing in TNA. Like, do you know what I mean? He worked well with all. Like, I just feel like that. Like Eric Dillinger's, Antonio Gonzalez. I don't know. I just feel like those are the matches I have. Like, I get the most out of, and it gets really gets Big Lou going. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that match with Drew, I love that one. And I think after a first match, obviously, you either go, oh, that was fucking mint, or that was alright, or that was shit. And then coming off the back of this one, obviously, I fucking thought it was class. I really enjoyed it. I loved that match. And then I can't wait for a second one sometime down the line because I think we'd do even better. It's like one of them we've worked each other once, and I really feel like next time we could do it again. Fucking blow the roof off the place, steal the fucking show, all that jazz. But yeah, so Bay Rose and Drew Parker are the answers to that one. When are you making your debut at Colliery Championship? How do you say that? Colliery Championship, CCW, Colliery Championship Wrestling. I hear they love death matches. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole story of this and why this question is funny, but if you want to Google, if you don't know what Colliery Championship Wrestling CCW is, just Google Colliery Championship Wrestling CCW death match, and you'll probably find multiple articles that will show some absolute muppet swinging a fucking lawnmower, a fucking weed whacker lawnmower, and hoying light tubes in a social club in front of loads of kids. And I think 3 of the 5 front row seats are prams. But yeah, so I'd probably never ever made my debut there, to be honest. But one time they ran down the road in Swalwell, like literally, it's like less than a 5-minute walk from where I live, and like, I do you know what I mean? I'd had nothing on that day. Do you know what I mean? So if the price was right, which it probably never would be, like, and I was on Swalwell Community Centre SummerSlam, whatever it was called, I'd probably do that for shits and giggles if I was free and there was nothing else going on. But yeah, never probably. Now this is a good one. What's the best and the worst advice you've ever been given? Now, I don't really think I've ever been given any bad advice because I don't associate well enough with idiots who can give me bad advice. I only associate with people who can give us good advice. But I think I've been given lots of good advice. But the first thing that sprung to mind was I remember my MMA coach said, make contacts in your 20s and money in your 30s. Now, I'm 29 now. I've made a lot of fucking contacts. I'm 30 in December. So, if that advice is good, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, that always sticks with us, that. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. They always say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And obviously, the more contacts you make, the more opportunities it brings. And I feel like, yeah, that's right. Because people probably see, oh, you're just like young in your 20s. And then people probably take you a bit more serious in your 30s. And when I look at the wrestlers and stuff, even on the indies and like the ones who are getting like names about and stuff, a lot of them, I'd say 80% of them are in the 30s. Like, so yeah, probably that. Contacts in your 20s, money in your 30s. Do you consider yourself straight? If yes, have you ever doubted being so? Go ask Anna. She'll answer that one for you. Yes, I very much consider myself straight. And I think this is the most I've ever thought about that question. Do you know what I mean? It's never sprung to my mind. But now that I've thought about it, I definitely am. And I don't doubt it. Not one bit. Why did someone like do I come across like that I'm not? Do I make gaydars go off? Like, hey, I'm not bothered about that, do you know what I mean? Like, it's another market to conquer, do you know what I mean? But it's a bit of it. I looked at that and I was like, I'm going to put that in because it's just like, I don't know. I need to stop thinking about how gay I come across to people. Again, disclaimer, I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay, but I personally am not. Do some fans find you scary at all? I can imagine maybe they probably did, like looking at us. But then if you look at all if you watch these videos and you look into us a bit, you probably find that I'm a big friendly giant and there's nothing to be scared of at all. So if you're not scared of us and you enjoy this content and you're enjoying Chat Shit Get Baked and my show day vlogs and my From the Vault matches, shout out all the promoters who are giving me access to their matches to get up my public watch hours, because that is a big thing. I've been studying the game of YouTube, and views count. So if you've watched all the way to the end, I really appreciate that, because you have contributed a lot to my goal of 4,000 public watch hours. I've got 1,000, just under 1,000 now in a month of consistent YouTube, and I think I'm very ahead of the game. So just need to keep grinding, which I will. I enjoy doing this, and the people seem to enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing it. So if you haven't already, drop a sub, like this video, leave a comment. Do you know what I'm going to say for this video? Because I always advertise my not gonna lie link, which is like how you get a question featured in this video. Obviously it's anonymous, but 9 times out of 10 people's YouTube channels aren't the name. But for this one, I will release a not gonna lie link for the next one as well. But let's drop a question in the comments of this video that you want answered, and obviously if you don't mind not being anonymous, I'll not include your name if you don't want to be included on the video. But just if you want to drop a question and you don't have us on Instagram, which you should go follow as well, by the way, at LouNewton17, or probably if you just type in Lou Nixon, I'll probably come up. But yeah, at LouNewton17, keep an eye out on there for the not gonna lie link, or we'll open it up in the comments of this video so you can drop a question here to be featured on next week's video. I thought, so I said last video when that hit 400 views, because that's what my first episode 1 was on 400 views when I released episode 2. So I posted that, and then I think it got like 150 views like pretty quick, and I went, we'll release episode 3 when that hits 400, and it's already hit 400. I was thought it was going to be like 2 weeks,
and it took like a week. It's over that now, and it's got like 155 thumbs up. Can this video beat 155 thumbs up? That absolutely blew my mind. Thank you for all the love. Yep, enjoy. Chat Shit Get Baked episode 4 coming next week, hopefully, probably, maybe, if I don't get fucking cancelled off YouTube. Right, we are back with episode 4. Can you believe it? Ooh, there's a fly there and it's nearly Bruce Lee. The fuck. I didn't get it. Anyway, episode 4 is upon us now. I want to appreciate, thank you, and I appreciate all the support so far on the channel. This is now a weekly series. So my whole thing was like, release the first one, 400 views. Second one, 400 views. But there seems to be just a demand for this every week. So every Wednesday now, there's going to be an episode of Chat Shit Get Baked dropping until I can do memberships, and then we're going to do all the early access stuff. If you become a member with exclusive videos and stuff. But the core of the channel will always be show day vlogs on a Monday, Chat Shit Get Baked on Wednesday, and free match Friday on a Friday for the time being. And when I get hit 3,000 watch hours, I can put memberships in. But more about that when it comes. Let's get straight into the episode. So I thought this was a good place to start after a bit of a shitty month that I've had with a bit of the bad luck and domino effects leading me to losing a lot of bookings that I had in this month. No heat on anyone, no shade on anyone. It is what it is. It's business, but it's shit for me. So this first question: do you wrestle full-time, or do you have a full-time or part-time job? And the answer to that question is quite simply, this is all I do. I am a full-time professional wrestler. So that's why it's like, it may seem spammy on Facebook and Instagram when I'm saying like merch and that, or like linking websites or subscribe to my channel, because that's all the merch, and this, hopefully this YouTube is what's going to become that'll be the job, the part-time job as well. Do you know what I mean? Doing YouTube, but it all links from the wrestling. And I feel like you know, like you can't put your all into something. If I had a full-time job, I wouldn't be able to do this YouTube. That potentially could make us money. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, like, yeah. So support the channel, buy the merch. Not just me, of all wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers are in the same boat as me, and that's all. It's all they do. So I'm not just saying for me. I'm saying for everyone. That's why it's massive when wrestlers say buy the merch, support them, do this, do that, do as much as you can. Because honestly, right, I tell you, when this channel takes off and I become the Logan Paul of Brit Death, everyone's gonna benefit. I promise you all. I promise you. That's wrestlers and fans alike. So treat me with some respect, not like DEW 2020 with me 23 respect and me 38 sex appeal. But yeah, I thought, I'll answer that one. I've been dying for somebody to ask us a question like this. Yes. Question 2. Any stories from your first experience in wrestling, training, shows, etc.? I've been fucking dying to tell this story, right? Because now, looking back, I realise how much of a fucking joke it was and how much of a farce it was. Now, if there's any wrestlers watching this, there's from the Northeast who trained with NGW. Now, so I'll go into a quick detail. So before Rampage's training was Rampage, like it was under the NGW banner. So this is nothing. Rampage was the coach, but it was ran by NGW, which is like Rich Stunn and whoever else. Do you know what I mean? Now it's not. It's all Rampage, and things don't go like this. But so I remember, obviously, coming from my MMA background and training all my life. It didn't take me long to get into the position to have my first match. It only took me 6 months. Now, I'm not saying, I'm sitting 9 times out of 10, it's going to take you a lot longer than that. But obviously, with the MMA and the jiu-jitsu, like, honestly, when I say I've been throwing punches and kicks and grappling as long as I can remember, as my earliest memories, I'm serious. So, like, that is why it only took us 6 months. That's not going to be... So don't think you can train for 6 months and be a wrestler. Please don't. But anyway, this is my story. So, my first match, it was an NGW Proving Ground show. And the bitch is basically like NGW training school show. It was up here. It was at the NE6 suite, I think it was, in Water. I think it was anyway. Yes, something like that. If I'm wrong, no doubt someone will correct us in the comments. Now, it's not the match that I had. I was so happy with the match and everything. It wasn't the match. It wasn't the match that sticks out. I wrestled Zero Knox in my first match, and I'm still trading with Zero Knox. Now, years later, do you know what I mean? It's good. I remember when I had North, it was me and Shreddy did the England's Hardest Men reunion, and like Zero Knox and Benji were in there. It was a nice full circle moment from when we first started. But anyway, what was the farce was the Alex Shane training seminar that everybody had to sign up to. Again, this was on Rich Stun. Like everybody, you're basically made to feel if you don't sign up and do this seminar, you can't wrestle on the show. Now, bearing in mind, I probably got paid 20 quid to wrestle, and the seminar was probably like 50 quid. Okay, so there's the first con right away. Now, my two biggest takes. Now, then I just took it with a pinch of salt, but now I think I just say what I want. You know what I mean? I think I'm in a high enough position to be able to speak my mind and call people out on shit. So, the first thing that sticks out to me, again, if people see, well, in that seminar, you guys will remember. So, I remember the warm-up, right? And I don't even care, I'm just going to name drop. I'm sure he's called Adam Boulevard. Some big fat cunt who looks like he sits in his mom's basement on the computer. Yeah, he's never took a bump in his life. He's definitely never wrestled. And I remember the warm-up was going on, and he was looking at people going like knees up. Like you've got the likes of like Shreddy and that in there, like Jack the fuck looking $1 million. You got like me, trained fighter, like, and then this fat cunt you can't even see his toes. He's going, get your knees up, lads, get your knees up, lads. Now that was the first farce. And then the second farce was the Alex Shane seminar. He literally just stood there, talked about how good he was, how much money he's made in wrestling, and why he's the dog's bollocks. And like now looking back, he's a gangly piece of shit. And next time an Alex Shane seminar comes up, just don't go. I haven't even seen him about. NGW don't book me, so I don't give a fuck about saying this. It was a massive farce. Again, by the way, this was nothing on Rampage, by the way. Rampage training is still going and still going strong, and none of that shit will get pulled these days. But this was under the NGW banner, and obviously, yeah. So, yeah, Adam Boulevard, get your fucking knees up. Right, question 3. With Darwin's influence no longer clouding BTT, could we ever see a Deathmatch Outlaws reunion if you could choke Joe away from ADD? No, because he shaved me fucking hair off. The bastard. Why want to be his pal? Him and Darwin. He's under the influence of Darwin now. Under the influence of Darwin. Under the influence of Darwin. No, but in all seriousness, like, I think an Outlaws reunion would always be cool, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? I remember that time, it was nice. I think it was the first ICW weekend where the Outlaws, it was the 3 Outlaws versus the 3 Americans. And like, there's totally like, there'd always be room for that, do you know what I mean? On a Rise show, a 4-on-4, me, Joe, Darko, Caden versus whoever, Risen, anyone, do you know what I mean? Like, whoever, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm not saying right now, but that would all, like an anniversary show, anything, you know that's going to get love. And you know, why would I ever not want that? Do you know what I mean? They're my boys. They're the whole reason I'm doing this. The whole reason I got accepted into Deathmatch at the right time, so early, so quick, and given the chances and Rise. Do you know what I mean? So, of course, anytime I get to share the ring with one of those 4 boys, it's always a yes, and it's always a lovely time. People are obsessed with this shit. Hypothetically, who would win in a fight between you and Brett and why? Right, well, right now, 100% Brett, because I'm a fat, lazy stoner at the minute, and he would punch me lights out. I don't know, but I would say probably Brett. But I'm going to link this question into the story. So before BTT was even really a thing, this was after the lockdown when I was boxing. I was in the build-up to my last boxing fight. I posted it recently on my channel. I can't remember the exact date. It was a few years ago. Before BTT was a solid thing anyway, and I was training for my fight. And Brett, it was like just coming into Rise, I think, and like starting wrestling. And obviously, he's the fighter guy. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, I'm the fighter guy. And it's like, and then I remember he messages going, oh, do you want us to come? I'll come. It'd be cool to do some sparring with you if you want for your fight. And then I'm in my head, I can't say no to this other wrestler guy who wants to spar, like, because I look like a pussy, do you know what I mean? And bless Brett, he drove all the way up from, like,
arse end of nowhere, Norwich, Cromer, wherever that is. Hours. And it was in the morning as well, so he must have set off at like 6 a.m. or something, bless him. And yeah, and he just come up and sparred, and then you could have sold tickets to that spar. That spar could have main evented any unlicensed boxing show. It was great. It was really good. And I won the fight in a minute. Yeah, I won. Not against Brett. No, I mean against the action in the fight that we're training for. I won in a minute. But those were good times. Me and Brett, we got Bloodsport this Sunday as well. BTT repping. I fucking love that we're both in Bloodsport. This is the special one. We're both there. We'll be in each other's corner, repping BTT. And that's it, you know. Whether or not I would win the fight or Brett would win the fight, it's always iron sharpens iron. Do you know what I mean? And that's why BTT are always on top. 4 fucking tag champs, 4-time tag champs, 4 different promotions. Do you know what I mean? Fucking rocking it. Absolutely rocking it. Oh, we got 3. We got 3 or 4. I don't know. Look at me being unprofessional, trying to smoothly link the questions in. If it kicks off in a real fight, a real life shoot fight against 4 angry blokes, what 3 wrestlers would you want beside you? Boom. So, obviously Brett, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't I want Brett after everything I've just said? I don't need to explain that one. And then we're going to go, I think I'll get Big Joe, you know what I mean? I've seen him disarm a guy in America. So why the fuck would you want Big Joe on your side? You know, he's got that security badge, he's got that license, and he's I wouldn't don't fuck with him, you know what I mean? And if you see Big Joe on the door, don't fuck with him, because he'll disarm you. And then the third one, this one goes off. This is a little story about the weekend. So my third pick would be Jack Bennett. Jack Bennett, right? So I'm not gonna. If you know Jack Bennett, you'll know his shoot job. You'll know what he does. He's a trained killer. He's a fucking ninja. He's a fucking... Don't fuck with Jack either. So at the show, just gone, some fucking... Not a regular fan. Some like fucking cunt at the venue was like took one of Franco Fate's figures. Anna was on merch, bless her. Obviously, like, the show's going on and stuff, and Anna can't like watch everyone's merch. She's like, she tries her best, but like it's not her fault either. But then this fan is like waited until she's not looking, and then took Franco's figure. And obviously Franco knows what he's got there, and then Franco said, oh, someone bought a figure. Anyway, fucking Jack Bennett hears about this and sees some guy at the door with the figure, and he just goes up behind him and grabs him in a fucking throat and goes, you want to fucking give that back? I haven't paid for it. And he got it back. 8 o'clock, get to your doors and applaud for Jack Bennett. But yeah, so Brett, Big Joe and Jack Bennett are the 3 I'd want by my side. Also Jack Bennett's straight edge, so it's, if we want a night out, it's good to have that sober eye as well. Do you know what I mean? Always thinking. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Do you want to fight? My credentials are being trained at the Snake Pit in Wigan by Billy Riley in catch shoot wrestling. See you on the cobbles, you little piss hand. Yours in sport. Marty Jones, world mid-heavyweight wrestling champion. You are very mid, aren't you, Marty? You are very mid. It's nice to see that the police have gave you your computer back. So you can reply. I don't even know who Billy Riley is. But if he had any hand in training you in the way you go on the social media, he's probably as big of an idiot as you are. But nah. At the end of the day, right, you're catch wrestling, right? You've got to get near us first. You wouldn't get near us. Bap, bap, bap. Look at the boxing. Bap, 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 bap. Get near us. Leg kick. I was trying to explain this to Tim. Leg kicks are killer. 3 leg kicks. You'll be like. Let's take you back to. You know what, Marty? If you came across me, if your younger self somehow had a fight with my younger self, you would be sitting on that chair of yours way earlier than you would have been. Because now you don't move off that chair because you're old and you can't wrestle. But like, my leg kicks would have put you in that chair way earlier. So, give your computer back to the police. Shut your training school and shut your fucking mouth. Lou, why the devil in cigarette emojis?
This question come up. I think this question's come up every week, and I haven't answered it, so I'm going to put it in. It's just my thing. It's like a little thing, and it's obviously working because you all know, like whoever's asked this question's noticed. It's just a little thing. It's like a little thing. You know what I mean? It's like a little tag. It's like a little thing. Devil cigarette. I'm the devil, and I smoke. Do you know what I mean? It's just a little thing. It's like British top team is the UK flag, the top emoji in the fist. Do you know what I mean? It's just a little tag. It's just a little thing. And then you know what I mean. You associate that with people. Like you associate. Oh, now obviously it's worked. Well done, Lou. You are right. The devil and cigarette emoji is now associated with me. And also, I think it's funny because the devil emoji, the purple devil, is associated with being horny. Speaking of being horny, I'm not going to answer or read this question because I haven't even been monetized on YouTube yet, and I feel like it could get us cancelled. So the next question is just going to flash up here. I'm going to read it out in my head. What the fuck goes on? Next question. This is class. Would you go on Geordie Shore, and who is your favourite member of the Geordie Shore cast? Now, me personally, I wouldn't go on Geordie Shore. I don't think Anna would let us go on Geordie Shore either. But do you know what, right? Fair play if you do want to go on it, because this is going to lead in who's your favourite cast member. It's like, obviously, like you get people who go into like reality TV and that just to make a name for themselves, and then they go on like idiots. But then you're like, you get on people who you go on reality TV to like boost the profile and do good with it. Like the biggest one, obviously, wasn't Geordie Shore, but Adam Maxted, like Love Island, and like obviously he's come off Love Island. He's big name wrestler in the UK. He's used that to like boost his profile. I see on Instagram now he's a big advocate for men's mental health, and obviously he's using that. He's used that profile and platform of reality TV for good and to boost himself. And then obviously, and then so the one off Geordie Shore, I would say he was my favourite member. I've met him. I wouldn't say he's my pal, but I know who he is. I've trained with him before. Aaron Chalmers again. So obviously he's always been into like fighting and stuff. And then ever since coming out of Geordie Shore, he's like worked hard. He's doing MMA. He's pro boxed. I think he's fighting bare knuckle again soon. I'm sure I'd have seen it advertised on Instagram. So no, I wouldn't go on Geordie Shore, but I totally would see why people would, for the right reasons and the wrong reasons. It just depends on your person and what you've got going on. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on Geordie Shore. I don't think people would have been expecting that. People would have been expecting me to shit on them. But I see it. I respect the hustle. If a wrestler supports Sunderland, would you team up with him? Yes or no? Well, I live with a fucking Liverpool fan. Is that even worse? Because they do fucking mint. Do you know what I mean? It's hard enough. Supporting Newcastle living with a Liverpool fan. I'd rather team with a Sunderland fan. At least I can take the piss out of them about how shit they are. Nah. Do you know what? As long as you're a good person, you can scrap and you've got me back. I'll team with you. Do you know what I mean? You can support anyone you want. Do you know what I mean? Simple as. As long as it's all in the person. Football is just a game. Everyone's going to support different teams. You have your banter, but there's no need to cave each other's heads in over it, is there? Do you know what I mean? So the next question is it's a good one, but I don't really know how to take it. I don't really know how to answer it. So it's, what are the top 3 matches that you would like to compete in? Now, I don't know if that's like stipulation or like what matches I would like to have. So I'm gonna take. I feel like the stipulation is a bit of a, I don't know. It's like a bit of a weird one because like I could say like Hell in a Cell. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to fucking have a match in a Hell in a Cell, but realistically, is that going to happen? So I'm gonna spin the question and I'm gonna answer it like this: what are the top 3 matches that I would like to have potentially and realistically could happen in the next year? Okay, so I made like a list on my phone of like matches that I want to happen. Like, you know, I would like, but it's just private. I don't post it. It's just private, and like I've hit quite a few of them, to be fair. But the 3 matches that I would like to have, and that like they're all quite like similar reasons, really. All 3 of them were former UFC competitors. So it's Josh Barnett, Matt Riddle, and Tom Lawler.
are like the three big people who I would like to work with and matches I would like to compete in. Again, like, doesn't have to be a blood sport match, just normal match, anything style wise. I just think, again, for me, like, growing up, I've watched all three of them on TV as well. I've watched all three of them on TV when I was a kid coming up in the UFC, and obviously I trained when I was younger, and like, I've had MMA fights, and then I found wrestling, and wrestling's what I wanted to pursue. But like, being in the ring with those three guys is like is my own little win of like, I'm competing with guys in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? Like, being on Bloodsport is like enough, but like, then like, that's the next step. Do you know what I mean? It's just little wins. These like they'd be little wins for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it blends both worlds. So I hope that answers your question. And if it was like match stipulations, ask it again, and I'll answer it next week. Thoughts or stories on Robbo, and would you like to see him in Rise? Now, I'm assuming you mean Paul Robinson. You know what, right? It was mad. I even remember, so it was when I wrestled in France for BZW. Don't worry, we're getting on to that. When I wrestled in France for BZW, that was my first time ever even meeting Paul Robinson. And I remember when I rocked up at the venue, I was like, hey, nice to meet you, you know what I mean? Like, obviously we knew of each other, like, about time, you know what I mean? And I remember Effie went, it's like, you two haven't even met. I was like, nah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, like, I'm like north, he's south, but like, yeah. I loved working with him, it was great. I think it was a tag match, it was me and Jimmy Lloyd against Paul Robinson. Not a fly, Bruce Lee, and his French mate. I can't remember his name, sorry. I think it was a great match. I just felt so comfortable in that match. Just felt at home, you know what I mean? The French crowd loved us. The French promoters, not so much. I think I would love to see him in Rise. I think if like there's 16 spots in Games of Death, do you know what I mean? I think he's more than deserving of one of them. Great addition, someone new, he can go, do you know what I mean? I think he would be a great addition to Rise. 100%. And yeah, I'm going to move on to the next question. What was the outcome of the issues you had with BZW and the flight chaos? Did you ever iron stuff out with the booker, as it got quite heated from what I remember seeing online? Now, I said, like, if I ever see him again, I'm going to ask him to shout in my face. Do you know what I mean? You know what? It didn't take long to see him. I saw him over Mania week just gone, right after the Sabu's last match, in the Palms Casino. Me, Joe, there's a few others, fucking loving life. And then I just see this little French tow rag jump in front of us, going like this, with a big fucking horrible grin on his face. And I'm like, it's this fucker. And like, obviously he thought it was going to go down so different, but not with me, do you know what I mean? I've said what I've said online, and I need to back it up because there was people there in the sceners, do you know what I mean? So if I shook his hand and was like, whoa, please book us again, I look like a fucking idiot, and that's not the way I go down, and it's not the way I roll. So I said what I was going to do. I went, oh, there he is, shout in my face now. All his fucking French boys were there, they did nothing, they all fucking just, they all shot off. And then Big Joe saved his arse. He was like, not in here, Lou. And then I turned around, and then I turned back, and he was fucking out he was gone, he was out the casino, he was running. Never seen a French man run so fast. So it's ironed out on my end. I got my win. I got the reaction I wanted. BZW owned as a pussy. I don't know if the angle of the camera might change just because my phone was going ping, 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 and had a message. Shout out Grim Jim. He was just saying that he watched, because I did a podcast with Dewey the Hot Dog for Deathmatch United. Go type in Deathmatch United on Facebook and ask to join the group. It's a nice, cool group, cool people. Talk all things deathmatch in a cool, safe space. But yeah, Jim was just saying the podcast was good. Go watch that when it comes out. Anyway, on to the next question. We've got two left. Are you tempted to grow your hair back and go with a comb over? Well, I don't really think that's my choice anymore. And fucking Alan, the bastard, when Big Joe and Darwin shaved my hair, he was like, "Oh, I've got you something for your barley head." Bald man's brush. It definitely works. Yeah, I don't have a choice. Now, I've left this question to last because this question leads me on to many questions. So the question is, tell us about the altar boy in Rise. Who is he? Now, I can tell you who I thought he was. So I thought Johnny Woodcock, the altar boy, the man with the deadliest springboard cutter you will ever fucking see. Alright? He's here. He's coming through. He had his first match on Rise with BA just gone. He wrestles in his fucking Primark boxer shorts. But then I go onto YouTube and I go follow Jack Harrop on the road, or is it or Iceman's channel? Is it Extreme Skeptic and Jack? Both of them anyway. Iceman and Jack Harrop's channels. And I see them go to this like haunted house place, and then I see the altar boy is like the tour guide of this haunted house, and I was like, what the fuck? So I don't really know who he is anymore. And I forgot to ask him at the weekend, and this has just reminded us. So I'm going to end this episode like this. If you made it this far, thank you very much. Drop us a like, drop us a subscribe, share this video with friends. And altar boy, if you're watching this, I want to know, who are you? Ladies and gentlemen, before the video starts, I'm going to plug the merch. First run of Chacha Get Baked merch. We have flags. I really wanted to put that behind us, but it'll fall down. I don't think it'll not work. And we have pocket logo shirts, orange. Gosh, got a few of them left. And black with the orange. Boom. If you support me or the podcast, give us a message on Instagram to order Chacha Get Baked merch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chacha Get Baked, episode 13. For still tuning in. In 13, it's going to be unlucky 13 for Ken Shamrock, because we're going to do something different today. We're going to tell the dirty truth, the Ken Shamrock story. So, we'll get right to it. Now, this started back in 2020 when Ken Shamrock blocked me on Twitter. That's hilarious just to even say that. Now, I can't exactly remember why Ken Shamrock blocked me on Twitter. I can't exactly remember what was said, but I have a rough idea. Now, in 2013, Ken Shamrock was meant to come over to the UK to fight Ian Freeman, the first ever Ian Freeman legend, UK legend, MMA legend of MMA. He was the first British fighter in the UFC, and they were doing like a big show. It was like obviously they both hadn't fought in a while. It was a big like legends card, and like Ian Freeman was meant to fight Ken Shamrock on that, and Ian Freeman was training with like the gym where I was training at with Richie Knox and stuff. So obviously I was like I wouldn't be even if I wasn't training with him, I would be anyway. But I was team Ian Freeman, do you know what I mean? And that fight didn't end up happening because I believe as well Ken Shamrock took like a deposit off the promoter and like it didn't come. Anyway, Freeman ended up fighting Rico Rodriguez and won in the first round anyway. Now, all I can imagine, looking at the dates, 2020, I was like just starting off in wrestling. I'd only been wrestling a couple of years. So, and Ken Shamrock's a bit of an outspoken, he still is to this day, he's a bit of an outspoken person on Twitter. So all I can imagine is he must have said something silly on Twitter, and I've replied something about that fight. Oh, you didn't turn up, but I'll fight you. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. And he's blocked us straight away, right? Now, that was really it back then. Nothing more was said about Ken Shamrock until 2023. And now, if you can see, this shirt that I'm wearing, this lovely Ken Shamrock shirt, the world's most dangerous or softest man. Depends how you look at it. But it was when lovely Jill McKee from America was over for the first Bleeding Gum show back end of 2023, November time.
And it's when me and Kanan went and met Neil Diamond Cutter for the first time, and Jill was there, and always gives us gifts. Big up Jill, because she always gives us gifts, and she gave us this Ken Shamrock shirt, and like obviously like she didn't know the story of like him blocking me on Twitter or anything. So I told the story, and then like obviously I posted a picture of me in the shirt, and then a picture next to it of me looking all sad, which I'll probably make a thumbnail, holding like my phone, and it says Ken Shamrock has blocked you. So I put it back up, and then obviously the whole story came to light again. And then in the 2024 Rise Rumble, because in 2023 I won Rise Wrestler of the Year, and it was the Rumble show, and obviously you can't do at the Brunel, you couldn't do like full on death matches. So at the time, I just said, "Hey, we came," and I'd won like Rumbles, but anyway, I said we'll build the Me and B Rose for the Games of Death show that was coming up, and obviously we did the angle. I'll put the clip in.
So, I'm meant to be here to accept the award for Rise Wrestling Year 2023. But I told Danny O'Doherty, shove that fucking award up your arse, because that's not the way I roll. I'm a fighting champion. I'm the best in Europe. I'm the European Deathmatch champion. And the fucking Brunel Social Club won't even let me defend it in here. But to be fair, I can't blame them, because fuck Ken Shamrock, I'm the world's most dangerous man. But you know what? It doesn't need to be a fucking deathmatch, does it? So, anyone in the back who wants to fucking throw hands, no weapons, let's fucking go.
But yeah, so that was me dropping the Ken Shamrock, world's softest man and the world's most dangerous man, Ken, in the promo. And I believe off the back of that, when I went to America, I also got some shorts made, which had like Ken, as in like Ken from Barbie, with the world's most softest. They were great shorts. Someone bought them straight away. If you've got them shorts, tell us where they are and send us a picture of them. But I got some tribute Ken. It was always when I went back to Ruthless and defended the Rust Belt. I remember. I'll find a clip or a video or a photo and put them in of me wearing those shorts, because they were one of my favourite sets of shorts ever. I've got notes here. I'm just looking at my notes. Now this is the best bit of the story. Now, it was, I think it was when, it must have been like WrestleMania time, 2024, sorry. And they were doing like, I think it was in Manchester, they were doing like a Comic-Con thing kind of deal, where there was loads of like, you could meet loads of wrestlers and stuff, and like TNT probably had shows on and stuff like that. But it was Others Joe, big up Joe, he said he went and met Ken Shamrock, and he asked like about me and what the deal was with like Lou Nixon. What's the deal with Lou Nixon? And apparently Ken Shamrock said like, I don't know who he is, but I apologise. Back then, like, it was my PR team running my Twitter. I wish him all the best in his career. Now, Ken, I have found that. So, big up Matty Mayhem. This just proves I've just started out wrestling with the dates and stuff as well. Big up Matty Mayhem. So that when he blocked me on Twitter, obviously, I can't remember what it said, but obviously it caught on back then as well. Cause we got a tweet from Matty Mayhem. Like it was, I think it's it was something like a Cobra bit Lou Nixon, and 4 days later the Cobra died or something. And Ken Shamrock retweeted it and said, "Are you his boyfriend?" I'll flash that tweet up here. Was that your PR team? Was that your PR team, Ken? I don't think it was, you little softy. I don't think it was. Caught you out there, haven't I, son? Anyway. What a guy. Fucking hell. Ken Shamrock. What a guy. And then, the final part of the Ken Shamrock saga is, it was Paris from CXW that messaged him, asking him if he was still doing bookings and matches and stuff. And he was like, yeah, what do you have in mind? I've got the screenshot of this as well, because I always got cap. I've always got proof. No lies on these videos. And then Ken Shamrock was like, yeah, what you got in mind? And Paris was like, Lou Nixon. And he went, no matches. So he balled it in the end. He balled it. And then not long after that, I believe he signed a Legends contract with WWE. So he really locked himself out of the fight with me. Because I don't think he can wrestle on a Legends contract. But yeah, so that's the Ken Shamrock story. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a big fan of Ken Shamrock. But I just, obviously, in wrestling, you've got to play off everything. And that's all I was doing, Ken. Do you know what I mean? And if the opportunity ever come up, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to jump you on your head. I'd love to knock you out. So if you ever come to the UK, give us a shout. Little short episode today. I forgot it was Wednesday, but I thought this was a great story to tell. The dirty truth about Ken Shamrock. Big love, Ken. And give this video a like, a hype. Leave a comment if you've got any Marty Jones stories yourself. Put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And also, let's put this out there. If you want to sponsor me or the channel, if you want to sponsor the videos for shout-outs, if you want to sponsor me for shout-outs and logos on my wrestling gear, I've took a boxing fight in February, so I'll be looking for sponsors for that as well. It all helps me in my crazy journey of, yeah, whatever I'm doing. Get rich or die trying. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get into the video. So, this all started in 2020. So I was working a lot for Full Tilt, big up Full Tilt. They've always treated me well, Big Chris and the Full Tilt lot. So Chris asked me if I would come in. Ooh, I think the camera's a bit wonky. Sorry. There we go. Chris asked me if I would come in and coach MMA and submission style grappling, like shoot grappling to the wrestlers. Do you know what I mean? To the trainees and stuff. Which obviously I was more than happy to do. Before I got into wrestling, I coached MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing for years, one-to-one and group classes. I've like trained people up to fight level. I've cornered fighters. I've had about 13, 14 fights myself across MMA, boxing, kickboxing. I'm a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Do you know what I mean? I've been in the gym training MMA and stuff since earliest memories, since I was about 10 years old, maybe even earlier. But so anyway, I'm more than qualified to coach that style. And they were great. The lads love it. The lads loved it. Anyway, but also at this time, Marty Jones was like coming up once a month to sit in his chair that he can't get out of, and teach them wrestling as their wrestling coach. I still, to this day, don't understand how you can teach wrestling from a chair without getting in the ring. But anyway, who am I? Obviously, apparently, I'm not experienced enough to, or not in a place to do this. Anyway, now, Chris advertised my sessions on Facebook. Now, I've tried for the life of us to find the comments. I believe it got removed because it got a bit heated. But Marty Jones, as he does in all caps when he spells a man's name, Marty Jones in all caps, commented on it saying, like, what's all this about? Ring me now, and he put his number in the comments. God, I wish I had it. I wish I could see the comments. Now, I can't, again, someone might know, because I remember in the Ken Shamrock video, or like, again, this proves I don't bullshit and don't tell lies. All the blanks got filled in the comments by people, which was class. Big up for everyone for doing that. But yeah, he said that in the comments, and I was like, obviously, you know me, I don't sit there. I've never sat there and like took rubbish off people. I don't know who he is. Do you know what I mean? He's no one to me, Marty Jones. Do you know what I mean? He might have been around a while, but as I've said, get about your chair. You know what I mean? But anyway, he said, I said basically like what I've just said. Me MMA experience, I'm more than qualified, and I was like, I think I'm almost certain I said something like along the lines of, if you want to find out, I'll tie you up like a pretzel. And then I think it got swiftly removed. And obviously, like a few people seen it, and like I've told a few people about it, like joking. Do you know what I mean? But nothing came. I don't think I've ever like. Well, I've been in the same room with him, but I've never like properly like met him. I think he come and sat in a training session once at Rampages, and then I think he was in Bloodsport, but I've never actually like met him properly. Like I didn't speak to him at Bloodsport. I felt a bit sorry for him, but we'll get to that. And then it all went quiet until like obviously, till I started doing this channel, my YouTube and my podcast. And then when I was asking for the anonymous questions, obviously it's anonymous. Somebody sent in like as a joke question, like who would win the fight, like you or Marty Jones?
What tactics would you use to defeat Marty Jones in a straightener on the cobbles, assuming Marty Jones was in his prime and not an ancient dinosaur from the past? Now, in all seriousness, Marty Jones doesn't spring me as a fighter at all.
So obviously, like, that's great, that's great. Obviously, I was like, gonna answer it. You know what I mean? It's great, like for clicks and that. You know what I mean? If I put that in the thumbnail. So obviously it would be me. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe Marty Jones was handy at all. Do you know what I mean? Looking at him now, if he was any type of fighter or athlete, he wouldn't be sitting on his chair all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like you look at the guy, like look at Mike Tyson. Do you know what I mean? He was a prime fighter. Do you know what I mean? He just had a fight like last year against a young stud. Do you know what I mean? And Jake Paul. So anyway, but who am I to judge? But yeah, so I answered that as a joke, and then like it got a bit like of attraction. Do you know what I mean? It got a bit of it got noticed a bit. It got some views, and then someone sent one in, like acting as Marty Jones.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Do you want to fight? My credentials are being trained at the Snake Pit in Wigan by Billy Riley in catch shoot wrestling. See you on the cobbles, you little pissant. Yours in sport. Marty Jones, world mid-heavyweight wrestling champion. You are very mid, aren't you, Marty? You are very mid. It's nice to see that the police have gave you your computer back.
So I was like, Marty Jones called me out on my podcast, and I like replied to it as it was Marty Jones. You know what I mean? It's all funny. And the best part about this, I don't think he has a clue any of this is going on. Bless him. So yeah, obviously I'm running with it, which is funny. You know what I mean? Because like it's Marty Jones. You know what I mean? He's a questionable character as it is. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say what he potentially is or isn't or has or hasn't done on video, but you know, he splits opinion, particularly in BritWres. Let's just put it that way. Wesby. We got there in the end. Let's just put it that way. He splits opinion. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. I've never met Marty Jones. We've never had no altercation. Well, I've never properly met Marty Jones. Do you know what I mean? I've never had an altercation with him. Yeah, it was all just a joke. It was all just like him kicking off on a Facebook comment, me saying I'll tie you up like a pretzel, and then people just running with a joke. Yeah, it's no big deal. I thought I would get this out there because this is what I mean. My plan at Bloodsport was I was gonna go and get a photo with him, like and post it like the troll that I am. But I've seen him and I felt so sorry for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know how people at work have like, not obviously at my work. I'm sitting here on YouTube. I'm self-employed and the only person in the office. Well, Smokey's there, but he's a kip sleeping on the job. He's not getting no revenue from this. But do you know how people have like the sweepstakes of like what celebrity's gonna become unalived next? When I seen him, bless him, I reckon this is gonna be his last Christmas. So I just want to put it out there that I don't hate Marty Jones. I respect that he sticks to his guns and continues to be the man that he is and doesn't change for anyone. And you know what? Now I would like, you know what? I wish I had that. I wish I had the number because you know what? Now I would return your call. If anyone has Marty Jones's number, let us know because I want to openly invite Marty Jones to be a guest on Chat Chick Get Baked. I want to interview you, Marty. So yeah, if anybody can make that happen, let us know. This is my open offer. Marty Jones, I would like to interview you on Chat Chick Get Baked sooner rather than later, please, because I've seen you at Bloodsport. But yeah, yeah. So that's the video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I just want to remind you, click the like button, click the hype button, because that's a thing and that really helps us out. So does the likes. And as I said at the beginning, leave your comments if you've got any crazy Marty Jones stories yourself, because I know a load of people do. But who am I to tell them on this video without him here? Do you know what I mean? I'm just telling my story with Marty Jones and clearing up the whole story, the whole truth. What is it? What's the line? It's like the nothing but the truth. And he'd be like, the truth, the whole truth, and the dirty truth. That was crap, but you know what I mean. Someone made as a tagline, referencing the dirty truth. I like the Dirty Truth series. You want to watch out if I've got anything on you. The Dirty Truth series. 1, 2, Big Lou's coming for you. Right. I said I was going to drop this video tonight, but I've been so excited to record it. I already made the thumbnail last night. So I'm going to edit this now and get it straight out to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Marty Jones, come on me podcast.